These weddings are my own personal nightmare. Compilation.
I'm terrified.
I purposefully ruined my cousin and ex's wedding, and it's brought me a lot of happiness. I once looked up to my cousin. I thought he was a great guy, and we were close, like brothers.
You guys are Eskimo brothers.
I was also dating a girl. I was deeply in love with her and planned to marry her someday. I thought my life was perfect. One day, I came home early because a colleague offered to cover my shift. I was pretty tired, so I accepted and went home. Arriving home, I found them in my bed, having
They looked like they were having fun.
spicy dancing time. Both of them were shocked, to say the least. I told them I wanted them to be gone by the time I got back and left the house. They were gone by the time I did get back, but she left me a note telling me she was sorry and to call her when I'd calmed down.
No, I don't think I will.
I didn't call her. I texted her saying I'd gather her things and drop them off at Cousins in a few days and that she's staying with him now, not me. Ooh. I followed through with that. It took about a week to transfer everything. Both of them tried to apologize, but I didn't have anything nice to say to them, so I said nothing. I just knocked on the door and handed them the bags to whoever answered before leaving. My cousin called me multiple times to try to apologize, but I refused to accept it. I mean, is he really sorry? Doesn't sound like it. 3 years have passed since then. I went no contact with them. I didn't bring it up to the rest of my family or any of their friends. I'm not sure why. I just didn't. I got a call from a number I didn't recognize, so I answered. It was my cousin. He sounded really happy and was acting like he hadn't destroyed my life. Ooh, that would piss me off. He explained that he and my ex were getting married and he wanted me to be his best man.
Why would I want to?
OP can probably think of a million things he would rather do. This is not high on the list. I yelled at him and called him names before hanging up. He sent me a text telling me the offer still stood, and if I didn't want to be his best man, then he just simply wouldn't have one. Okay. A few days passed by, and I had an idea. I texted him back and apologized. I sent a paragraph of bull saying I was still angry, but this could be an opportunity for the three of us to heal and move past it. He was overjoyed and said he'd pay for everything and he'd help me pick out a suit if I wanted, which I accepted because I sure as scheisse wasn't going to spend any money on his stupid wedding if I could help it. Das a scheisse, okay? Das a major scheisse.
You make a poop in the party.
The wedding day came. I had spent the week prior writing a speech, putting all the negative feelings I had bottled up over the years into words on paper. Ooh, yeah, see, this is a bold move. Participating in cheating and then asking the person whose life you ruined to give a speech at your wedding. That's kind of like with a server that handles your food. The wedding was pretty good. I'm sure one of them has some nice, well-paying job or something because they must have spent a decent bit of money on this wedding from how nice it was. Our entire family was there, as was a decent chunk of my ex's family. Eventually, the time came for my speech. For those who are just listening, Charlotte just made her scary little gremlin face. I just remember feeling really nervous as it built up to it and my voice kept faltering when I was reading it out, but I didn't and still don't care. At least I got it out. I explained what these two horrible people had done to me. I called them the worst names I could think of and wished them the worst.
I wish you well. In hell.
Then I left. I was expecting some kind of dramatic moment from all the gasps of shock and all that, but there was none of that. Everyone was silent. That's because everyone probably agrees with you. On my way home, I got a call from my mother angrily telling me I'd ruined their wedding, and both of them were so upset, and she asked me why I'd do this. I can think of a few reasons. I told her that they deserved it for what they'd done to me, and everything I'd said in the speech was true. She kept defending them, so I swore at her and hung up. Since then, I've gotten several calls and texts from others in mine and my ex's family, angry I ruined the wedding. I also received a few texts from people who were there, being supportive and telling me they were there if I needed to talk. I'm not sure if I feel better having done this, but it did bring me great catharsis when people were telling me the wedding was ruined. At least now they've felt, at the very least, a fraction of what they made me feel. Just a little edit to address some common questions. As far as I'm aware, the rest of the family wasn't aware of her cheating on me. They likely knew we were dating at some point, then we weren't. I mean, yeah, you never really talked about it, and I can't really see her being very forthcoming about that. Doesn't really make her look very good, does it?
oh yeah, I'm dating this new guy. It's actually my ex's cousin. And like, you know, we started seeing each other while me and my ex were still together. We cheated. No biggie, but not really married, yay!
Yeah, that didn't happen. I've learned from previous stuff that I can't rely on family for any kind of support, so I've been on low contact with them since I moved out of my parents' house, which is why I didn't mention this to anyone in my family. A lot of people are also asking for the speech transcript. I wrote it in a Google Doc and read it out from my phone. The delivery was kind of lackluster. I sounded like I was gonna cry and tripped over my words, but I managed to read it all out. It isn't verbatim what I said, but it's very close as I was reading from this as a general script. Oh, we've got the script. We have the script, my friends. Why am I nervous? Like, I'm a little nervous, guys. Wait, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm not very good at public speaking, so apologies in advance. It's an honor to be at this wedding, and it's an even greater honor to be the best man. I was shocked that I was even invited at all, since the last time I'd spoken to the bride and groom was when I found them in my own bed. Ex's name was my partner at the time, you see, but I don't think she got the memo that when you're dating someone, you don't F their cousin in your partner's bed. And it wasn't like cousin's name didn't know we were dating either. Who knows how long this slimy, bad word for lady parts, was giggity-gooing her behind my back. Weeks, months. For those unaware, X and I had been dating for 2 years. I loved her with all my heart and was actually saving up to get a proposal ring. Maybe if X wasn't such a, cousin would be giving this speech instead, and I wouldn't have been struggling with my mental health for 3 years. Anyway, I've heard 50% of marriages end in divorce. I hope yours is a messy one. From the bottom of my heart, F you both. You ruined my life, and I will never forgive either of you. Huh. Well, that's a speech. See, even I'm silent. Anyways, it's what you said. I kind of wish that you had gotten more mad at your cousin, honestly. Like, yes, it's your partner is like awful, but like would have loved some nasty words for your cousin as well instead of just your ex. But I'm just saying, honestly, it is kind of really dumb to ask OP to speak at their wedding after all of this. Truthfully, don't know why they did that, except they feel bad. Also, the message that OP sent probably made them think that like, oh, like let bygones be bygones. For the record, if you do this, don't ask the person whose life you ruined to speak at your wedding. You're just asking for trouble. Thank you for sharing, OP. That was a spicy one. We've got some more wedding drama for you. Don't go anywhere. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Stay a while. This was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. It's a beefy one. She's thick, she's chunky. I got kicked out of my brother's wedding party.
It's tea time.
I, female 30, got engaged in 2023. I'm the middle child with 2 brothers on either side, 28 and 33. A few months after getting engaged, I asked all the people I wanted to be in my bridal party. It was all family because family is extremely important to me. Sister-in-law on fiance's side, both of my brothers as co-men of honor, and both of my brother's girlfriends. I'm very close with all of them and spent a lot of time with all of them. Fast forward to about a year later, May 2024, and my brother proposed to his girlfriend. I was very happy for them, and I was asked to be a bridesmaid in my sister-in-law's party a few months later. Shortly after their engagement, it started to hit the fan. My brother started talking about getting married the same month as myself and my fiance, October 2025. Okay. Why? Literally 2 weeks after or 2 weeks before. Immediately, my mom said that would be unfair and a lot on the family. They ended up deciding to get married in August 2026 instead. Like, is it that deep? Sometimes it's that deep, honestly. Truthfully, it is kind of hard to pick sometimes to have like a choice. Like, you can have hope to pick the wedding date that you want, but it's kind of dependent on like venues and whether the venue has space. My family and I have also been discussing starting a family the year after we get married. We're older and our lives have been on hold for about 2.5 years as I've been finishing my master's. I graduate August 2025 and I'm currently on a work placement that's unpaid since January 2025. I had to cut back on work hours and my fiance's been picking up the slack with our bills as we struggled to scrape together money to finish paying off our wedding. While discussing our plans around starting a family, my sister-in-law got very upset, stating I could not be pregnant at her wedding. My brother swooped in and started cracking jokes to try and diffuse her anger, which worked, but you could still tell she was upset. Other people's uteruses are none of your business. None of your beeswax. I've been telling my family for about a year now that the summer of 2025 would be a really busy time for me and financially a struggle, so not to expect much from me. We scheduled my bachelorette party for September 2025 to ensure I was done school and had more free time. Well, my sister-in-law decided she wanted to do her bachelorette party in August 2025, a year in advance. Okay, see, remember what I said about it being deep? It is that deep. I had to tell her I wouldn't be able to make the whole thing because I have to be at practicum on the weekends and I can't book it off. If I don't get all of my hours in time, I have to extend my placement and I really don't want to do that. As far as I was aware, she was understanding and assured me I could come the Friday and she'd be happy with that. A few months later, the group chat with the bridesmaids start. Love a little group chat. I don't, but for the most part, I like it, but that's kind of where the drama is, so. As long as I'm not involved in it, I like it. I first tell the maid of honor I can't make the whole weekend and I got a lot of pushback. Things like, can't you just book it off? Why can't you stay the night Friday and drive back early Saturday morning? Keep in mind, it's a 2-hour drive and I have to be there for 8:30 a.m. My practicum is as a therapist, so I have to be able to present with my clients and support them emotionally. Something that's hard to do when you're tired or hungover. I politely explained why I couldn't do these things, and I had already spoken to the bride about this. The maid of honor continued to push back, and I called my brother, who immediately launched to solve the problem. The maid of honor finally laid off. A few weeks later, we start discussing budget for the bachelorette, and I explained I couldn't afford to help pay for the whole weekend, which my brother and sister-in-law were aware of. I offered to pay for sister-in-law's drinks and food on the Friday while I was there. That's what credit cards are for. The bridesmaids got upset, and comments were made like, if you really loved her, you'd pay the money.
I'm all out of money!
Well, no. Love is not synonymous with money.
Why can't you just pay $25 instead? I have to drop down work hours to go to school and I don't have a partner to pick up the slack, but I'm still making it work.
They were all very rude until one of the bridesmaids, who happens to be the sister of the bride, commented she spoke to their mom, who offered to cover all the bride's costs so it didn't stress anyone out. All of a sudden, all the bridesmaids were fine to pay for everything. I spoke privately to the maid of honor, explaining I didn't appreciate her constantly pushing back at my boundaries. The maid of honor blew up and started sending me screenshots of our conversation, demanding to know at one point she didn't respect my boundaries, and all of her comments were in regards to ensuring I was having a good time. I don't really think it's possible to have a good time if you're really worried about money. I think you've made it perfectly clear that you're like, listen, I can't show up fully. If you need me to show up fully for this with regards to money, I can't do that. Money doesn't just magically appear. And quite frankly, I think this, it's customary to pay for the bride and stuff, but I also think that not everybody can afford that, and we have to be understanding of that. And furthermore, if we really want people to be at our bachelorettes, we have to be willing to kind of pick up the slack. We either have to be fine with people not being involved or being able to pay for all of it, or we have to be willing to pick up the slack in a monetary sense. If you really care about people being at these events, I think that you need to make it as easy for them as possible. Otherwise, be fine with them not coming. A few months later, I had a bridesmaid dress picked out but not purchased yet because I couldn't afford it until after my own wedding. I had to explain this several times to my sister-in-law, who kept asking me about it. She also approved the dress. Shortly after this, the bride stated she didn't like the dress I picked out and wanted me to wear spaghetti straps like the other brides. I have a very large chest and can't wear things with tiny straps because I need more support. The other bridesmaids are all tiny with small chests. I tried to express my concerns and the bride thought I was arguing the color of the dress, which I was not. I started sending other dress options, all of which she turned down. She started sending me dresses with very small, skinny straps and deep neckline cuts. I got frustrated and just said fine to the last dress she sent. After this, I met with my brother and we all talked it over. I was able to communicate my frustrations and struggles over how everything was playing out. I left that conversation feeling really good. A few days later, sister-in-law sent me a letter indicating she wanted me to step down because I couldn't offer them my undivided time and attention that they needed right now. Okay, fine.
You got it, dude!
Here's the thing. If you step up to be a bridesmaid in people's bridal parties, there are things that people are gonna ask of you, okay? But I think all of these things have to be within reason. This was in April 2025, over a year away from their wedding. I was hurt because I felt like I was very honest about what this time frame would look like for me, and they'd stated they were okay with it. Keep in mind, I also spent money I didn't have and time I didn't have to help them throw a surprise engagement party that none of the bridesmaids helped with, and some didn't even come to. Okay, so you did show up in ways that you showed up in other ways is the point that I'm trying to make. When I met with sister-in-law and brother, I was told by sister-in-law I owed the bridesmaids an apology. For what?
What?
What for? I couldn't tell you, she never specified. She also told me they have high expectations of their wedding party and the time and money that gets devoted to their wedding. Saying this while also not putting in the time and effort she should have to be in my own wedding, by the way. Ooh. I was told it was better for me to step down because of the tension in the party with me and the other bridesmaids, and this would create too much stress for sister-in-law day of the wedding. My brother made a comment that indicated he was not part of this decision and disagreed with it, but had to have his future wife's back. My fiance, who was a groomsman, respectfully backed down to have my back, which you can imagine very much upset my sister-in-law. Oh no.
Your actions have consequences.
Best part of this all is sister-in-law's mom now wants to wear a white dress to their wedding. Sister is getting a divorce and doesn't want sister-in-law talking about her wedding right now. And her friend wants to celebrate her birthday at the bachelorette. Oh, she's gonna love that. My family's angry about what happened, and none of them are talking about their wedding with her anymore. This wedding sounds like it's going to be a dumpster fire, and although I'm hurt about being kicked out, I'm glad I can sit back and watch it without having to deal with it directly. Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's kind of not your circus, not your monkey. And like, the fact of the matter is you were the scapegoat with this particular issue, but they're just gonna move on to someone else. You know, it genuinely is not this crazy in terms of bridal parties and weddings and drama all the time. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of drama at weddings, speaking from experience. But like, I tend to find that like, if we're setting the tone for the drama, it's gonna keep coming up. So people in the comments are kind of saying like, obviously your sister-in-law was in competition with you. I mean, like, that's why I say, is it that deep? Yes, it is. Like, she's the one that picked this wedding so soon, knowing that you weren't going to be able to show up because you have your own wedding. It doesn't surprise me, but anyway. So we do have an update. So I just had my wedding and my sister-in-law was pretty great. She was supportive, helpful, and kind to everyone. I started to wonder if we had maybe come to a better place until a few days ago when we were at a family event. My aunt asked her about her wedding party, and the summary of what she shared was that it was a mutual decision and implied I never had been asked to be in the wedding party because I was too busy. My aunt pushed a little, and her story shifted to that I may be pregnant and could be nauseous or tired. She didn't want me to be uncomfortable, but was planning to ask me to be a blue person. The f is a blue person?
I'm afraid I just blew myself.
Which is someone who still participates in all the wedding-related events, but is not able to commit to being a bridesmaid. This means I was asked to come get ready in the morning of, go to rehearsal, dinner, etc. Okay. Didn't realize that there was like a designated term for that, but okay. Now, where I'm confused is I was told back in March, one of the reasons she was kicking me out was because of the conflict between me and the bridesmaids, and she wanted a calm, relaxing morning, not people uncomfortable around each other. Yeah, that's a good point. Why does she want you there the day of? Can tell you that like most of the time brides do not want like animosity in the getting ready process. You know, it's like we need like calm, we need Prosecco, we need good vibes. I'm surprised about this. I'm also feeling like, I don't know, maybe she like doesn't have anybody else at this point. Maybe she ran out. Is it possible? Okay, I might be reaching here, but like, is it possible that like other people have kind of dropped out and now she needs you back? Anyways, okay. Now I'm hearing she does want me there, which tells me that was never actually one of the reasons she kicked me out. I haven't asked to be a blue person yet, but I have been asked to wear blue to the wedding. Oh dear. Is this after you already bought a dress? I personally want to directly ask her about all the changing stories and say no to being a blue person when she asks me. I also want to actively not wear blue. I think it's unfair she did this really crappy thing and is now acting like it never happened. But if I do anything to stand up for myself, I know I'll be painted as the villain in this situation. If someone kicked me out of their wedding, the last thing I would want to do is now show up and be told like where to go and like what to do and like be needed in that regard. Cause it's like, no, dude, like you already said you don't want me involved. Now you're like probably needing someone there. I fail to understand why she just needs all these people around her to do all these things at all times. Like I'm just
a baby.
I cannot stand people that are not independent. Like, I just cannot stand it.
I'm just a baby.
Okay, let's see if there's any clues in the comments. This isn't complicated. If asked, decline. If asked to elaborate, do. This isn't a court summons. You aren't required to say yes. I try to do it calmly and as non-confrontational as possible. Yeah, I mean, very good point. She's not the queen and she's not, like, you're not her lady in waiting. And by the way, congratulations on your wedding, OP. I'm glad it went okay. Oh, interesting thing to note. OP updated in the comments. She showed up to a wedding barbecue my parents threw for my husband and I before our wedding to bring both families together, wearing a sweater that indicated she was a bride and engaged. It felt very pick-me energy. We do have another update. I know. I told you, she's a chonky one. Recently, one of the bridesmaids from the wedding party reached out to me via text and apologized to me for how she reacted in the group chat. It was over a year ago at this point, and I was genuinely shocked to see the message, but also not surprised. More recently, our paths have crossed in a role where I hold little more power than her. I won't say exactly what, just to protect people's privacy. Despite me holding a little more power, her apology was very sincere, respectful, and kind. She acknowledged how her words could have hurt me and how she should have acted with more empathy for my situation. Shortly after our text exchange clearing the air, the maid of honor reached out and also apologized, prompted by the other bridesmaid. Her apology was less sincere feeling. It came across more like focused on how it was a hard time for her and she did her best. Her actions were not reflective of who she was and she knows she's better than that. It briefly acknowledged the hurt she caused, but barely. It felt more like I should clear the air because my friend did and not because she felt she did anything wrong. I acknowledged her apology, but didn't offer her one of my own, like I did for the other bridesmaid. My apology was focused on how I could have been more assertive versus aggressive around setting my boundaries. I wanted to make it clear that I did nothing wrong with setting the boundary, but could have been a bit nicer in how I did it. And even then, I think I did it pretty nicely. Well, that's good. I mean, I think it's important, even if you're like not sorry, I think it's important to sort of like concede in a way, just to like bury the hatchet, whatever. I feel like there's two things happening here. Either they're realizing that you were actually like, you were right to set boundaries early on, or your sister-in-law needs something from you. And she wants the other bridesmaids. She told them to apologize because she needs you to do something. God, I just wouldn't be surprised, okay? Like maybe it's a genuine apology, blah, 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 but like I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, I'm not even sure how I feel about this whole situation. I was debating not attending the rehearsal dinner later this year before the wedding, as one of the reasons my sister-in-law cited for kicking me out was the beef between me and the bridesmaids would make her feel uncomfortable day of the wedding if we were all in the same room. She didn't want to feel uncomfortable on and around her wedding day. For this logic, I was debating not attending the rehearsal dinner, citing her reasoning back to her. Now, I obviously can't use that given they will tell her we cleared the air. That's what I'm saying though. I'm saying that because she wanted you to clear the air because she needs something. It could just be that like she needs more people around her, but I literally fail to understand why though. Sister-in-law is still behaving like a bit of a spoiled child. At Christmas, I was handing out thank you cards to my family for my own wedding with photos I printed for them all. She was handing out their wedding invites. I will say she was polite and waited her turn patiently as they looked through my stuff. Later in the evening, my brother made a joke about her shoving invites at people, just playful teasing. She said in a whiny voice,
"It's my turn."
As if girl had even let me and my husband have our turn when it was our wedding. I'm not trying to read into everything she does, but honestly, it's hard not to. I barely speak to her and my brother anymore, and the divide between them and the rest of the family is slowly growing quite large. That's the update for now. The wedding is in August 2026. I mean, okay. Here's the thing. You can read into everything, but I think it's better unless something else happens to just like simmer. You know, let's just simmer. Don't be someone that ruins her wedding. Like, don't bring more animosity, because something tells me this girl, drama follows her around. Like, I guarantee you there's gonna be other things that upset her. Like, don't add to it unless she does something to deserve it. I'm just saying, okay? Like, let's just simmer. Arm's length, you know, kind of like take everything at face value for now, but like clock it, you know, like don't forget, but like, let's just move forward with grace. I think that you could go to the rehearsal dinner. I think that you could, you know, do all the things that she wants you to do, you know, be there the morning of. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, more of her bridesmaids, you know, she has falling outs with them and you're like all that's left and that's why she asked you. I do not understand why she now has her tail between her legs and now wants you to like come back and still attend. This is a very good piece of advice in the comments. I would join if invited and be the most chilled out person in the room. Nothing bothers you. Gray rock the hell out of everyone snuffing for drama. See, this is very important, right? So just Not my circus, not my monkey. If there's drama in the room, leave the room, go to the bathroom, whatever. Simply because you don't want her to be able to point any drama in your direction. She's doing a fine job setting the fire to the family bridges all herself. You don't need her to toss gasoline on you as well. It will piss her and her drama crew off that you don't care about them and their antics don't bother you. How dare you not care that you're not in the party? Yeah, I literally fail to understand why she's like being required to attend these things. Don't attend anything that isn't in full view of your family and your support. Rehearsal dinner, good. Get ready with her and her bridge crew. Nope. With your hubby and getting ready together, sorry. Okay, that's fair. To me, I think that you could go for like a bit. Hopefully the vibes are good, depending on like where the getting ready area is in relation to like where you're staying or whatever. Like if it's inconvenient, don't, but like, you know, go, drop by, have a little Prosecco. If the vibes are good, stay. And then if the vibes suck, just leave. I don't know. I'm only saying that because sometimes it's fun to be like getting ready with the bride. I'm just saying like the vibes are really good, usually. Don't respond to anything that isn't in writing or the witnesses that support you. As things continue to go bad with her and her family, she's going to look to blame someone else, as obviously it could never be her fault. Best case scenario, your brother wakes up and gets her in line or leaves her, but worst case, you want to be as clean as snow when the muck starts flying to protect your relationship with your brother. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you mostly. Stay out of it. If the vibes suck, just leave. OP said there's nothing else about the whole blue person thing. She hasn't asked her. Someone said to add my 2 cents about the rehearsal dinner, since you aren't a part of the bridal party and you aren't traveling from far away, don't feel like you have to go. OP said that's my thought. I mean, I am family, so I can see why people say I should go. My concern is I've already been asked to watch their dog and the food while they're at the wedding venue doing the rehearsal. Well, that's contradictory. It feels like I'm being asked to be a butler or do menial tasks. To me, that says I'm not super valued as a family member. The rest of my family will be at the venue with them. Oh, that's interesting. I'm interested to see how this plays out, OP. I ain't gonna lie. Keep us updated. Am I the a-hole for booking my wedding on someone else's birthday? All rise. You may be seated. My fiance, 38 male, call him A, and I, 34 female, have been together for nearly 9 years. We were planning to get married this year, however, had to postpone due to a family member being told they had a terminal illness. The family member was told they only had 1 year. We postponed as the 1 year mark fell right around our planned wedding date in August 2026. We pushed it back 1 year, so now it is August 2027. Okay, so you're literally already accommodating a lot of people. Fair enough. My best friend is getting married in August 2027, so that's one weekend I can't book. I asked my fiance what date we should book for August 2027, and he said just pick a date. So I contacted our reception venue and they gave me a list of their availability and I placed a deposit with the flexibility to move it within August. I then contacted our registry office and asked for their availability. Between the two venues, there's only 2 available dates. One of the dates is a morning wedding. And with the amount of time it takes to get ready for a wedding, I refuse to get married in the morning because it's just too stressful. Bro, like, I can't even imagine like the amount of stress that, I don't know, it's like a mix between like stress and excitement, right? Because you want everything to go well. You're excited for the day. Everybody's there, you know, like, especially if you have a rehearsal dinner or whatever, you drink that night as well. So it's just like, I would not want to get up at like 5 a.m. to do my makeup after that. Like I want to ease into the day and be able to enjoy it and not be tired. I totally get that. So that left only the final date. Now, this final date happens to fall on A's best man's, call him B, daughter's birthday. I'm sorry, what? I thought you were gonna say someone like literally in the wedding party. B is no longer with his baby mama, so they have shared custody. I've spoken to B's ex and explained the situation, and she seemed understanding but a little annoyed. She told me she would have a think about it and get back to me about if her daughter would attend the wedding. It doesn't really sound like this is something you can control, honestly. B has said if his daughter can't attend the wedding, then he won't be able to be best man, and now A is saying if B is not best man, then he won't get married.
What is going on here?
B has said that I could have booked any of the 365 days of the year, but I haven't. That's not entirely true, actually. Then told me, it's fine, I'm used to my daughter getting pushed out.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Well, I mean, hold on. Like, I don't think that you're opposed to having the daughter there. You told the ex. Is it a no-child wedding? I haven't booked this to push his daughter out. His daughter was supposed to be one of my bridesmaids. I said I'm happy for his daughter to have a birthday cake at the wedding for her and to have presents at the wedding, but nothing seems good enough. Apparently, B was speaking with his ex last night, and his ex is allegedly furious that I booked my wedding on his daughter's birthday. Sorry, who is this person to you? Like, I'm confused. Why is she furious though? Because like then her ex will be able to celebrate. Okay. My argument is that I'm trying to book it across 2 different companies in peak wedding season and availability is limited. I mean, that's a fair assessment. Yeah. We are working to a very tight, strict budget, and I've been asked why I cannot move venues or change the date. What nobody seems to be understanding is that I've already put money down to secure venues and dates. Yeah. Wedding dates are not chosen lightly, okay? Like that was one of the things that it honestly took like weeks to decide. Because yeah, we did have things in mind where it's like, it was my birthday, it's my dad's birthday, it's like, it's our brother-in-law's and sister-in-law's wedding date as well. So their anniversary date, sorry. They got married a year before. So we had all those things in mind and we did our best to book a date that like accommodated everyone. And even then, I think it ended up being one person's birthday at our wedding. He was totally fine with it though. Like, I mean, he was in Italy, like drinking for free, eating for free. He didn't care. He's like, yeah, this is the best birthday ever. Like, my dress has been picked based on a summer wedding, so I can't be moving it to a colder season.
You don't need to justify yourself to me.
Okay, like, listen, sometimes I can see people try to like justify their actions with regards to their wedding dates. Point blank, you picked a date that was available. That's it. You don't have to like grasp at straws and like say all these things about like,
oh, I can't do this because of this.
Like, listen, it's okay. You picked your wedding date because you picked your wedding date. And due to, as eldest daughter, my bonus daughter in school in the South, we can only have a wedding during school holidays. That being said, the school holidays for the North and South are rarely at the same time. For 2027, the school holidays that are the same are the summer half term and the summer holidays. Right now, I really feel the most important person to A is B, not me and not our daughters. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I see why you said that now. Yeah, but like also B is kind of like putting the cart before the horse and sort of assuming that like his daughter won't be invited to the wedding or something. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for booking my wedding on someone's birthday? No, like there's only 365 days in a year. And like, even then there's only so many wedding dates and weekend dates available for weddings. Someone's gonna have to share a date with your anniversary. Like, I'm just saying someone is gonna have to share an important date with your wedding. Edit to add, I'm not mad at B for wanting to spend the day with his daughter, but A, B, B's ex, and now B's new missus are making it seem and feel like I'm worse than for booking it on B Junior's birthday. At least that's how it feels. No, I think B's kind of being a little bit of a drama queen, honestly. Edit to add number 2, my dress was purchased based on the book date of August 2026. The venues picked were based on what we both wanted, number of guests, and our budget. I did extensive research before booking the 2026 date. That's what people don't seem to understand. Like, having to accommodate everyone is so unbelievably hard for your wedding. We did our best, but like, unfortunately, it's really not possible to accommodate everyone. And I think what most people don't understand is there is so much going on behind the scenes to like be able to accommodate everyone. I had someone like drop out of our wedding the week before, or no, what happened? The friend dropped out literally 2 weeks before, I think, and said that she couldn't make it to the wedding. That's fine. You know, it is what it is. We spent an hour, we moved around the seating chart, we submitted the seating chart. Then a week before the wedding, she contacted me again and was like, hey, so turns out I actually do want to come to your wedding. Like, can I still come? And at this point, I was like, no, like you can't. Like, we literally spent an hour rearranging the seating chart. The seating chart has been submitted. We had little cards printed, you know, like party favors and stuff, like personalized. At this point, it was like I wanted her there, but at the same time, it's like, you told me you couldn't come, and now you're saying you can? Like, anyways, there was so much being done behind the scenes. And by this point, by the way, I was already in Italy. I was like, every single day I was, you know, paying deposits and things related to the wedding, like setting like hours aside on my like trip, my family trip to celebrate our wedding, to be able to accommodate, you know, like all the things that happen before the wedding, all the fires that need to be put out. I didn't want another thing added to my list where I now have to skip out on like a wedding related dinner before to accommodate this guest who like literally told me she couldn't come. like a month before the wedding. But you know, it's kind of hard for people to understand that. There's so much going on where you're trying to accommodate everyone. So much research is being done, time is being spent. Just like, for the record, like, be nice to our brides. It's stressful. So short of have a community hall for a reception, there's not anything else within our budget, and A doesn't want a community hall for the reception. I should also argue that your husband's being, like, I understand him wanting his best man there, but like, you're doing your best to accommodate him as well. One more edit to add, B shares 50-50 custody on birthdays. So X, Mrs. B, and has B Jr. half the day, and B has her the other half of the day. I have offered to have a birthday cake and presents for B Jr., as well as extending an invitation to X, Mrs. B, to allow her to spend the whole day with B Jr. B wants me and A to go talk to his ex, so I'll update once that happens. So we do have an update. So B Jr. is 6 years old. So we went to B's house. The kids had a play date while the adults talked. I told them the date is booked and is non-refundable or transferable. A said that he wants B as best man. I told A if B is so important, he can marry B and I'll take our children and move out. Oh, period. Okay, clock it. A then said he loves me and does want to marry me, so he will do the wedding without B as best man. Okay. A has apologized for what he said, that he doesn't want to lose me, that me and our children are everything to him. Okay, that's good. Cause like, I don't really like this whole like,
Well, I'm not getting married if B isn't my best.
B is being a little bit of a drama queen, okay? B then added his 2 pence, saying if we are happy to have the wedding without him there for A and have it all with my family and friends and no one there for A, then that's fine.
The real drama queen.
Why is this person trying to strong arm you into changing your wedding date? Like some friend, I'm sorry. I did remind A and B that the guest list is large due to A's friends and family, and my guest list is only a quarter of the size of A's list. New Mrs. B chimed in saying our wedding would always overshadow B's birthday. Oh my God. Shut up. Literally shut up. I.e. if we had an anniversary party. Oh my God. Bugger off. I told her straight that it wouldn't be because anniversary parties tend not to happen until the 25-year mark. By then, B Jr. would be an adult, but also anniversary parties can be held on other dates. It doesn't have to be on the exact date. Like, this is so dumb. I'm sorry. Why are you even pandering to these people? Like, this is so stupid.
This isn't about you.
Shut up. It's none of your business. Suck it up. I also told them all, rather than play victim and attack me for the date booked, why don't they all go on at X Mrs. B and get her to change her mind? Not one of them had a thing to say. Yeah, I fail to understand why you are not being accommodated. You and your wedding are not being accommodated. And like, we're just doing everything that B's ex wants. Like, who is this woman to you? No one. She's not a friend. She's not a family member. Like, I said if B really wanted to be there for A as best man, he would. It is B's choice to be there or not. I agree with that. I also asked B, why not ask B Jr. what she wants to do on her birthday? If B Jr. wants to be a bridesmaid on her birthday and he said no, that would be seen as trying to weaponize the child and the day.
I'm saying it was a choice. Where's my choice?
That is a very good point. Like, how come, like, have we even talked to the kid about this whole birthday situation? Why is he being so, I don't know, whatever. B has said he's going to keep pushing for X Mrs. B to allow it, but to plan the wedding without them in the bridal party. If any other drama comes up, I can update if people are interested. I have a feeling more drama could be coming. So yeah, even people in the comments are like, why is everyone being considered but you? Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I would think that you can play that bride card, please accommodate me in my wedding just this once. Like, literally just this once. Hopefully just once. People are pointing out, the guy said he wouldn't marry me if his friend wouldn't be there. I would have walked away from him. I agree with that. I'm not really liking why the fiance said that. It seems really dumb. He's being a bit of a groomzilla. I can understand like wanting your friends there, but like his friend is also being really unreasonable. I don't think you're the a-hole. I think that you did your best to accommodate everyone, but at the end of the day, this is your wedding and you need to accommodate yourself too. And everybody else also needs to try to accommodate you. If not, it's all good. Don't be there. Not the a-hole. And I don't want to see another thing about it in the comment section. Shut up. My former best friend ruined our ceremony. My husband and I got married a few months ago. We had a very small wedding, 35 guests, with a short ceremony and reception afterwards. Overall, the whole weekend was beautiful. We are rather nomadic and we had friends travel in from all over the country to be there. Lots of love and celebration. However, I wouldn't be here if there wasn't any drama. A few months prior to the wedding, I asked my best friend to be our officiant. As wedding planning went underway, I checked in with her several times to make sure she was comfortable and preparing her for her part. She assured me she was there for me however I needed her to be. My husband and I created a script for her to read with very specific wording. She had a copy of it sent to her in the week prior to the wedding and confirmed that it was beautiful. Okay, so you did a lot of the lift work yourself. You created the script? Crazy. The only section I left up for her was the intro. I wanted her to put something personal there. She knew both of us and she knew how special this day was, especially to me, as this was my second wedding and she had been there for the disaster of my first marriage and what that turned out to be. I had never thought I would ever want to be married again, and yet I found this wonderful man and she has seen how wonderful he is as well. Well, the day of the wedding came and it all went to hell quickly. I'll spare the full details, but basically leading up to me walking down the aisle, it was all about her and her life drama. Oh, stop. Oh, please spare me. No. Oh my God. I ended up being incredibly stressed the entire morning trying to manage her feelings when it should have been my day. This also happened to a friend of mine. Her officiant, I think just broke up with someone and she was kind of dumping on my friend who was getting married that day. And she was like, dude, I remember her being like, honestly, if she tries to talk to me about it again, I'm going to have to tell her very nicely, not today. The officiant wasn't even friends with her either. The last thing a bride wants to do on their wedding day is pick up someone else off the ground, carry the emotional weight of someone else. No, please do your friends a favor. If they're getting married, just give them one day to not hear about it. Just one day. So for the ceremony, she walked down ahead of me. She enters in and immediately exclaims, "Fuck." Everyone is shocked, but my husband tries to recover, get her set up with a clip microphone for our live stream. We were running everything ourselves with no wedding planner. She doesn't want a mic, which in retrospect was actually probably good because at least our live stream viewers couldn't hear what happened next. Oh, I'm scared, but I also can't stop reading.
This is just so brutal, and yet I can't look away.
I walk in with my dad, and we're finally ready to begin the ceremony. She says a few housekeeping things and then turns to us. Here are the highlights of what happened. 1, after saying sweet things about me in her intro, she looks at my husband and said,
I don't really know you.
Oh my God, no, you make something up, babe, no. 2, she then gestures to us and starts our vows. We hadn't done the I do's yet, which was in the script. I had to stop, get a copy of the script out of my own folder and hand it to her. She stops, reads a little, then does those. Oh my Lord. After our vows, she went completely off script again. She didn't have me repeat after her for the exchange of rings, but then turned to my husband and made him repeat after her. None of which she said was on the script either. After he finished repeating and after her, she said, good boy, and slapped his... Shut the front door. Stop right now. Literally stop right now. Thank you very much. Absolutely not. I am speechless. There's more. Number 4, she didn't say our introduction as husband and wife correctly either, just made it up and spoke like a ringmaster in a circus. It's literally not that hard. All you had to do was read from a page. 5, throughout the ceremony and reception, she kept trying to fluff out the train of my dress when it wasn't necessary, including while my husband was reading his vows to me. She got up out of her seat, walked over and grabbed the train on my dress, did it twice. Honestly, I don't want to read into this, but I feel like she's kind of sabotaging your wedding because of her own going on. Ugh. This is the thing about weddings. They bring out the worst in people. People find it very hard to be happy for other people. Weddings are emotional, it makes you look at your own life, it makes you compare. It's human nature. I would think twice about being friends with someone that could not just let you have a day without centering themselves and being a basket case. I genuinely would, and I have. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just saying. It sounds like this friend is very used to you being there for her always, and that might be the dynamic she likes the most. So this is all recorded. Every time I watch it, my blood pressure rises. It was so straightforward. All she had to do was look down and read that part. We had gone over the script, so it wasn't a surprise to her at all. No, I genuinely feel like it was kind of on purpose. I have since ended my friendship with her. Honestly, good. While I don't think it was intentional sabotage, the fact is, if it wasn't intentional sabotage, she didn't care enough to do a good job. And that's also bad, okay? Her nervous reaction was to make it all a big joke and a spectacle, and it really, really hurt me. She has told everyone that she felt pressured into it. Ugh, please. It's like, honestly, it's a big job, right? Like, it makes people nervous, public speaking for other people. I've been there, but like, that's not an excuse to do a bad job. When that was not the case at all, I've had friends who happily would have done it, but as I said, I thought she would have had it together for her best friend's wedding. Everyone in the comments is like, she slapped his ass. What is wrong with this person? How can you... Yeah. Like, the only thing I can think of was, like, is she trying to, like, make it funny? Like, was that, like, she's trying to lighten the mood and, like, she wasn't... It's possible.
Oh, tough crowd.
But, like, bestie. OP responded, in no circumstances would that be appropriate. I think people on her side don't see it as a big deal because she's a petite, bubbly woman. But if the role had been reversed and it had been a male officiant slapping my ass, hands would have been thrown quickly. Yeah. And like even saying good boy, like what? This is why I'm saying like, you know, people who find it hard to like let someone else have the spotlight for a day, I genuinely think that there's something deeper at play. Jealousy's a big one, resentment. It's also just they've gotten used to a relationship where they're constantly the center of attention and you're constantly having to take care of them. And this is one instance where that dynamic is not the case. It's still kind of like a bit of a power play too. Like it's like, anyways, point being, if someone does this at your wedding,
they're not your friends.
Just rethink the relationship. In any capacity, if they are trying to like be a nutcase, if they're getting drunk, like if they're literally going over and above to just try and be the center of attention in any way, shape, or form, whether it's like playing the victim, getting drunk to the point where people have to take care of them, just like, you know, causing drama. There's so many ways in which people try to like divert attention toward them because they can't handle someone else having the spotlight. There's something deeper at play. I'm just saying. Am I the a-hole for leaving my sister's wedding early without telling anyone? I, 26 male, went to my sister's wedding last weekend. We were on okay terms, not super close, but not estranged or anything. I was a guest, not in the wedding party. From the start, the day felt off. There was a lot of last minute changes and stress, which I get. Weddings are chaos. But my sister kept snapping at me over small things, like asking me to move seats because
you're blocking the photographer.
Then later getting mad I moved because she wanted family together. At the reception, I was seated at a table with people I didn't really know, which was fine, except my place setting was missing. Ooh.
Definitely throwing shade.
Yeah, I can tell you that unless you're a +1 or you were invited last minute, that was not a mistake. Or if it was a mistake, it's a very hurtful mistake. It's also sitting at a table with people you don't know. Like we had tables that were like overflow tables and we just like did our best to at least sit someone with someone else that they knew, like always.
The singles table, the kids table, the weird relatives table.
But those were the tables that were just like, either your party's too big to all be sat together, so we're putting you on your own, or like we just literally don't know where to put you because you don't know anyone, or you don't know many people. I'm just saying, like the overflow tables, like not putting people together, that's not how I would do it. No name card, no food choice, nothing. I flagged a server and eventually got a plate, but it was clearly an afterthought. Ooh. I know this sounds minor, but combined with everything else, it kind of sucked. Yeah, you were an afterthought. You either were an afterthought or it was deliberate. I'm just saying. During speeches, my sister thanked everyone who really showed up for us and then specifically listed friends, coworkers, and even neighbors, but skipped me entirely. Again, I know it's not about me, but it still stung. Bombastic side eye. I understand that they're not close, but like, you still say it, you know? Unless you were like horrible to her, I fail to understand why she's treating you like an afterthought. By that point, I felt awkward, tired, and honestly unwanted. I don't blame you. I stayed through dinner, hugged my parents, and left quietly without saying goodbye to my sister. I didn't cause a scene or announce anything. The next day, she texted asking where I disappeared to and said it was hurtful that I left early and didn't say anything. especially since people noticed. I said I wasn't feeling great and didn't want to make it a thing. I actually prefer it when people like don't say goodbye, you know? It does become a thing. Like when you're saying goodbye to one person, you end up having to like go around and say goodbye. And then you come up with it's just better to just French exit. Now she's saying I was passive aggressive and that if I had an issue, I should have sucked it up for one night. My mom agrees and said weddings aren't about individual feelings. I mean, to be fair though, it kind of seemed like she didn't really consider you to begin with. Like, it's not like you were super important. You didn't include her in the speech. She didn't even put you somewhere where you knew anybody. Like, you were an afterthought. So I fail to understand why it was so important for you to be there. I get, you know, the whole weddings aren't about individual feelings thing, but like at the same time, I would also feel like I don't feel wanted. I don't think it was important for her to be there. A friend of mine thinks it's weird I was treated like an afterthought and then quietly leaving was fine. I honestly didn't intend it as a statement. I didn't feel like I belonged there anymore. Am I the a-hole? Listen, you could have stayed. You know, at the end of the day, I think that your feelings were definitely hurt. I had people leave early from my wedding because they had other things going on, and it's okay. Like, obviously I would have loved if they stayed, but I didn't hold it against them. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, I just like, I don't really think that she's in a place to be like,
you were meaningful to me and you left my wedding and that like hurt my feelings.
It's like, well, I wasn't meaningful enough for you to like even put my name on a table. I wasn't meaningful enough for you to even like pick something for me to eat. I don't know. I get why you left. I don't really like staying anywhere where I'm not wanted either. I understand it's your sister, but like, whatever.
I'm afraid that she brought this on herself.
Here's a good point. You did fine. She's mad because people asking about you meant she had to admit she hadn't paid attention and didn't care. She'll be fine, and so will your mom. If it was a real issue for your mother, she would have said so when you hugged her goodbye. That's a very good point. You did say goodbye to your mother. Why is it that she didn't try and get you to stay? She's not mad you left. Mom is mad she had no way to shut your sister up. I mean, the mom has a point. You know, weddings are not like for personal feelings. I do get that, and I preach that a lot. But I think in this case, like, it's like, it just seems like OP wasn't wanted there. Like, the whole day, she's just like being brushed aside. It's not like she made a scene. It's not like she went up to the bride and like complained about where she was sitting, which happened to me. I'm just saying. She just like quietly was like, okay, it's fine. I'll just leave. I failed to see an issue with that, honestly. And like, I don't even think that the sister would have noticed unless people pointed it out, which they did. Not the a-hole. She only cares because people asked where you were. And also she only noticed because people asked where you were. Not the a-hole. The guest list, table sitting, name cards, speeches are made prior to the wedding day. I would feel left out too. The part with move for the photographer and calling you back, I find that more normal, hectic behavior. And often we snap at family because we feel safe that they will understand we don't mean it. Not saying it's a good thing, just more what often happens. Sounds like your sister's a bit of a golden child and mom being the enabler. I would also agree with that dynamic, yeah. I went to a family wedding once.
I lost something once.
All family members except me were seated at tables together. My assigned seat was at the opposite side of the room, alone at a table with people I didn't know. Yeah, honestly, at that point, like, I know that the seating chart was like super, super annoying and a pain because it was a destination wedding. Sorry to make it about me again, but this is, you know, all I have reference to.
It's all about me now.
In our case, it was a destination wedding. People were traveling really far. I wanted to make sure that they were sitting next to at least one person that they knew. Because it's like, I don't know, it's just like kind of hard to just sit there for like, again, it's only a couple of hours. It is what it is. But like, you know, you want people to feel like safe in an environment. At least I know I like feeling safe in an environment where I don't know anybody. So seating them with someone they know is important. Not a family member came to say hello. That's also an issue. I left before dinner, even though it's been 5 years. I will never forget or forgive. Some people are pointing out there might be missing info. This post stinks of missing reasons.
Two sides to every story, right?
I also kind of had that thought too. It's like, why is there such an issue between the sisters? I don't understand. Maybe they had like a massive falling out that OP's not talking about. But even then, you know, like, fair enough. She left, you know, she didn't go somewhere where she isn't wanted. Maybe the sister had reasons for like excluding her or whatever, or making her feel unwanted. I don't know. I genuinely don't feel like it's ever okay to do this, honestly, with family. But like, based on what OP shared, I'm gonna go with not the a-hole, and we'll leave it at that. Am I wrong for being hurt that my best friend doesn't want me at her wedding? Well, it depends on what you did, bestie. I'm just kidding. Let's see what you said. For context, love a little context. My best friend, 25 female, and I, 25 female, have been best friends for over 10 years. I will refer to her as BFF for this story. Her and I have also been good friends with another woman, C, for several years now. About 2 years ago, BFF and C became roommates, and I ended up moving out of state about 6 months later for work. BFF and C naturally became closer, and BFF got really close to C's family, who live nearby. Over the course of that time, I felt left out on more than one occasion by both of them, and BFF's fiance, who I am also friends with. In particular, I felt that my efforts have not been appreciated or reciprocated by BFF. I admit that I should have been more direct in how I've been feeling before it got to this point, but the most recent issue has been my breaking point. BFF is getting married to her fiance, who was a mutual friend before they got together, in a courthouse wedding at the beginning of 2026. They will have their reception later that year. Originally, BFF said that the courthouse wedding was just going to be her, fiance, and each of their parents. I have no issues with that. However, that's not what's actually happening. Let me guess. C is invited and not you? A couple of months ago, I had asked if my husband and I could fly to celebrate with them that weekend in a small way, which she had offered to do for me when my husband and I had thought about doing a courthouse wedding. I thought she said she would love for us to come. I guess there was some sort of miscommunication because she thought I meant I would visit a week or two after the wedding. She told me it wouldn't work having us come that weekend. I suggested some alternatives for visits and mentioned I would be hurt if C's family ended up being involved in the celebration. Noted. I'll admit, I was not very direct with my comment, but I wasn't sure how else to bring up the topic of feeling left out over the past couple of years. Looking back, I wish I had worded it differently. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I wish you had said something like, is there anyone else going to the ceremony? Like, let her kind of answer the question, you know, rather than being like, well, I'm gonna be mad if she's gonna be there, you know? Don't love it, but you know that you should have worded it differently. So at first, she completely ignored my message. I texted her again the next morning, to which she finally replied. She basically blew up at me, calling me selfish, saying that they can do their wedding however they see fit, which I agree with to a point. I don't understand why she reacted the way she did and proceeded to explain and clarify that it wasn't just about the wedding, that her behavior has repeatedly hurt my feelings. Again, crickets. Here's the thing. I think you're totally valid in feeling left out, but the fact of the matter is that people have, you know, it's clear to me that you guys have drifted a little bit, and it is not appropriate, I would think, to bring it up right now. I will say again, you're valid, your feelings are valid, but it's her wedding, and I understand that she's doing stuff that's hurting your feelings, but again, it's like, it kind of is what it is. Maybe she has another reason, or maybe you guys have drifted and, you know, she's closer to somebody else. You don't know why, but again, it's like, it's not really about you anymore.
That's what it is.
At least in this case, you know, like, let her get married, let her make her own decisions. And it might mean the end of your friendship, but I'm just saying, I don't think that you should have brought it up. I texted C to clear the air with her, as I've also felt hurt by her. That conversation was much more productive, and I feel like we were on good terms. During that convo, she mentioned she had been asked by BFF and fiance to officiate their wedding. This completely broke me. I feel like I was punched in the gut and stabbed in the back at the same time. It's not that BFF only wants parents there, she just doesn't want me there for whatever reason. BFF and I have been through so much together, and I never would have done something like this to her. I thought we were like sisters, but I guess she no longer cares about me like I do her. So Reddit, am I in the wrong? Have any of you dealt with similar situations? I'm very fragile, so please be kind, and any advice is greatly appreciated. I included screenshots with names blurred out for privacy. Okay, so we do have texts. We're gonna get to them in a second. Okay, I think both things can be true. I think it's entirely possible that she felt closer to C and that she cares about you. It's not like she's having, like, at least based on what you shared, it's not like she's having this massive wedding and didn't invite you. You said yourself that you guys have kind of drifted. You know, this reminds me of a story of a friend of mine who's getting married soon. This girl was so unbelievably excited to get engaged. Like, this girl was like, our mutual friend is her fiance, and we were all just like, do it! She's great! Just propose, honestly. It's like pulling teeth. He's just a very aloof guy. Anyways, he finally proposed to her over the trip to Italy, same trip, you know, with like my wedding and stuff like that. He finally proposed to her. And in Lake Como, it was so beautiful. She said yes, obviously. And, you know, the first thing you do when you get engaged is you pick up the phone and then you call either your parents or, you know, your best friends. She calls her best friend and she's telling her best friend that she's engaged and, you know, she's so excited. But best friend is also with another friend of hers who is then upset that my friend did not call her first to tell her that she got engaged. This resulted in, like, I'm sorry, but like when someone is like just getting engaged or like they're leading up to their wedding and you're like coming up to them with like this weird like, but I thought we were friends. Like, you know, it's just your feelings are valid, but like you're taking away from the happiness of this person's moment. Unfortunately, with the case of my friend, she's not having friends at her wedding. She has decided to do a destination wedding. And because of this whole issue with like the best friend competition, she's like, I'm not inviting my friends to my wedding. Like that's how hurtful it is to some people when people just kind of like pull and like, you know, they just, well, I thought we were besties. No, I was your best friend. No, like, come on, okay? Like, just please, like, let people have their moments, and it is what it is, you know?
Get over it.
Anyways, that's how I feel about it, but let's read the text messages and see what happened. So OP said, I'd rather come visit than during a better time of year, or even help subsidize the three of you coming out here. I knew I would be hurt seeing pictures of that weekend after the fact, with blank also involved celebrating with you both when it was supposed to be just you and your parents. Did something happen to you yesterday? If not, it's pretty creepy that you didn't respond. Yeah, like, okay, I just don't love this. I don't love it. I'm just saying. You can say whatever you want to say. You can, you know, make your feelings known to your friend, but like, when I'm about to get married, the last thing I want to hear is like, I thought we were friends. Like, when literally okay, yeah, it's just, I'm just saying. You trying to show up on the weekend of my wedding when I clearly expressed to you why that doesn't work is very inconsiderate, and then finally exposing how you'll be the one hurt. Possibly seeing photos from my wedding is selfish. This isn't about you. It's not about anyone else. It's about my husband and I. It's our wedding. We get to be selfish. If we want parents there, then that's what we want. The friends aren't just random people we're inviting, and blank have been nothing but welcoming and treating husband and I like their son and daughter. They are our parents. Maybe me not responding was creepy, but what you've been trying to do is worse. If you decide to come visit us in a couple of weeks after the wedding to celebrate, I will be more than happy to see you guys. If you don't want to at all, I understand. This topic isn't up for discussion. I no longer want to talk about this anymore. Okay, one last text. It's not just about the wedding. I agree. It's your wedding, your choice. That part I understand. I feel like you're not understanding what I'm trying to get at. I'm simply trying to express that I have felt left out by all three of you, but especially by you on more than one occasion over the last 1.5 to 2 years. Okay, and you're valid for feeling that way, but bringing it up right now is not appropriate. It's not fair to her. And I understand it's not fair to you. The whole thing's not fair to you, but like, my guy, like, I'm not good at confrontation, so I haven't been bringing it up directly, and that's on me. Yeah, you had plenty of opportunities to bring it up. You're choosing her like literally right before she's getting married to do it. I can speak from experience that she has a million other things to worry about right now. I should have said something a lot sooner. It feels like you only want me around when it's 100% convenient for you or 100% what you want to do. I understand that they're not random people and your relationship with them doesn't inherently bother me. What bothers me is how I'm no longer seeming to be a priority or that my efforts seem to go unreciprocated. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, OP. You're valid. It hurts, doesn't it? But this was not the time to bring something like this up. Like in certain situations, you gotta, like the let them theory, you know, like just let them. And I understand it's hurtful that you felt left out and stuff like that, but like at the same time, it's like shit happens. And there was a different time that you could have brought this up. I would have brought it up after the wedding, honestly. But anyways, here are some of the comments. What do you mean that they can do whatever they want for their wedding to a point? There is no to a point. They can do whatever they want. Sounds like you've grown apart and you don't want to accept it. Sucks, but just move on. I hate to agree. I mean, I kind of actually miss that. Like to a point. Unfortunately, like they are allowed to do whatever they want. It is their wedding. It's their choice. It's just like this kind of shit is absolutely so unbelievably common. I know for a fact that most brides do their best to accommodate everybody, but it is impossible to accommodate every single person and whatever whatever they want. I'm sure she tried to accommodate, but also like maybe we all need to come to terms with the fact that like sometimes we drift apart from people. I personally regard my best friends as people that I'm talking to like daily. Like if we're not regularly checking in, like we're on phone calls, we're catching up, you literally know everything that's going on in my life. I know everything that's going on in yours. Like we're sending each other memes, like it's constant communication, you know what I mean? But if it's one of those things where it's like we were best friends, we chat sometimes, like let's be honest with where the relationship is and be done with it, okay? Like it's okay. So I don't mean this meanly, but when you were about 23, you moved and the two of them lived together. That's a pretty crucial age range and it sounds like they bonded, like you note, but I don't think you're acknowledging how far apart you've grown. It sounds like they want their closest people they love around them. Unfortunately, that doesn't include you. It doesn't mean they hate you or don't care about you, but you've all grown apart. Save your energy and pride and find new friends. I didn't think that she needed to find new friends. I think that the bride in the story cared about OP, but they just weren't as close anymore. I'm sure OP would have been invited to the reception, you know? And like the timing of bringing it up is just really not fair. You told her you'd be upset if her close friend was involved in the ceremony. That's where you cross the line. That's the kind of controlling part to me. Like if you do this, then I'm gonna be mad. Like that's... Listen, I love you, bestie. Your feelings are valid. You're not wrong for being hurt. I think that you're wrong for how you expressed your hurt. But guys, we actually do have an update. Update. Am I wrong for being hurt that my best friend doesn't want me at her wedding? Hi, all. I couldn't figure out how to edit my original post, so I've included the link above. Thank you to everyone who gave support or kindly offered their opposing view. It helped me gain some insight into my friend's side and ways I can improve. For context, we're all in our mid-20s. The small update is that she agreed to talk to me over the phone tomorrow after I get off work. I will try to update how that conversation goes if I have time. I would like to clarify some things in the comments. I included more screenshots in this post to see the text from where I originally asked her about coming to celebrate the weekend of her courthouse wedding. This is when the initial misunderstanding happened, and looking back at the messages, I can see where the confusion came from. We both thought we were on the same page when we were not. I would like to emphasize that the only reason I asked about visiting the weekend of the wedding is because she had asked me the same thing when my husband and I were thinking about doing a courthouse thing. I had told her yes, but we ended up having a traditional wedding. In my wedding, BFF and my friend C were co-maids of honor. BFF's fiance was a groomsman. Also, I never asked about being a part of the ceremony itself. A lot of you had issue when I said I agreed with her to a point. I explained what I meant in the comments, and others also commented who did understand my intended meaning. Some also said that our shared history and the amount of time we've been friends doesn't matter, that it's about the quality of the friendship. Time and quality are related. It's hard to achieve anything of value without putting in both the time and the effort. These past 1.5 and 2 years make up less than 20% of our friendship. I believe that other 80% was a quality friendship and shouldn't be so quickly thrown away. She said she saw me like a sister, and I felt the same. Lastly, our 10+ year friendship has been more long distance than not. Sometimes I moved away, sometimes she did. She's lived in 3 different states as an adult, and I've lived in 5. Before BFF moved in with C, BFF lived about 4 hours away in another state, and C lived 5 hours away in the same state as me, but the opposite side. Her fiance lived in between me and C. We tried to see each other about once a quarter and chatted online often. This BFF and C were previously roommates while I lived in a different state, and we were still able to maintain a certain level of closeness. Let's read the text messages. Hey, I had a question regarding your wedding and whatnot. I remember you saying you're doing the courthouse thing in January with just parents. I was thinking that my husband and I could fly out to do a mini celebration with y'all either right before or right after the courthouse thing. If you want to keep the whole thing strictly parents though, I completely understand. What are your thoughts? Hold on, I'm at a doctor's appointment. I'll get back to you in a bit. No worries, take your time. Okay, finally finished my appointment. That would be fun for you to visit. The wedding date is February blank. I don't know how long you would want to visit. We can talk more in detail about it when blank is visiting. Hey, when are you getting married at the courthouse? It was sometime in February, right? February blank. We talked about you guys visiting after the wedding, right? I was thinking we could fly out that weekend. The weekend, as in you'd fly on Friday the 20th? Yes. I still need to look at flights though to see what would make sense. Okay, so wait, so she told you, I'm assuming that this date, the wedding date, I thought we discussed you coming after the wedding when me and my new husband are settled. The timing will be better for you guys to come and spend time with us. Okay, so she's very clearly saying no. I had asked about coming to celebrate with you guys the weekend of, not just a random visit. Okay, but like unless she's expressly invited you, I don't know why you're like trying to like insert yourself though, babe. It would be one thing if she had invited you, but like, even if she didn't have other friends that were coming, like, she probably has plans, like, with her family. Yeah, you're kind of inviting yourself. Just saying. I'm being a little pushy. I'm guessing the airport is even smaller than the other one, right? It would be hard for us to fly into that one. Okay, again, we won't have time during the weekend, though. My fiance doesn't get a lot of vacation time and doesn't get to see his parents, and I'll be moving my things in boxes. That weekend will be too busy with everything. I don't want you guys to fly to visit us and it'd be a waste of your time. The best time to see us would be a weekend or two after. You could still fly into this airport. It would be something picking you up there and you guys driving to blank. And then OP says, I'd rather come visit then during a better time of year in Idaho, or even help subsidize the three of you coming out here. I just knew I would be hurt seeing pictures of that. Okay, and I'm assuming then that's when you kind of got mad at her. Is it helpful context? I don't know entirely if it changes how I feel, honestly. Like, maybe it was a miscommunication, but at the end of the day, she's also telling you, like, please don't come. I'd prefer if you didn't. And, you know, you can take that personally, and you're valid for taking it personally, but at the same time, it is her wedding. So yeah, people in the comments are still saying, like, yeah, you are honestly still being pushy. Like, she's very clearly telling you no, and you're telling her that you're gonna be hurt seeing her pictures from that weekend. You're making it about you, okay? It's not about you. Just for future reference, everybody, like, it's not about you. Moving on. Am I the a-hole for kicking my best friend and her boyfriend out of my house? My boyfriend, now fiance, have been living together for a little over a year. We got pregnant in late 2024. In the summer of 2025, I was approximately 30 weeks pregnant with my son. I was already having some issues with my pregnancy, especially severe pain if I was standing too long, usually 45 minutes to an hour. This is important to know. My best friend and her boyfriend were in a bad situation back at his home, and we decided to let them move in with us for a little bit, with some rules. 1, when the baby comes, we need our space back. It's a huge adjustment as new parents. 2, clean up after yourselves. You're adults. 3, make sure you pay rent. A small amount, not much, $250 a month combined. Our mortgage is over $1,500. 4, get a job. Sounds pretty reasonable, but let me guess. Didn't go well. I thought these were reasonable and they agreed. They moved in shortly after. Everything was okay for about 1 to 2 weeks, and then it went downhill. Her boyfriend kept walking around the house in just his underwear, showing no respect for me or my now fiance. We both asked plenty of times to stop. He never did. Okay. They were constantly arguing and fighting all the time. They ended up screaming at each other and slamming doors a handful of those times, even in the middle of the night as my fiance and I were trying to sleep since he had work in the AM. Ooh. No bueno. This is so inconsiderate. I cannot stand it when couples fight in front of me. Like, I hate it so much. Oh my God. Then the mess started. Stove would be left on if I left the house. Oh, okay, no, danger. Danger, danger, danger. Our table and chairs would be sitting in the center of our kitchen after they moved them. They'd leave pots and pans and all these dishes either in the room or directly next to an empty sink, not in the sink. The stove would be atrocious. They rinsed their full bowls of food in the sink and clogged it. Clothes and mop buckets would be left out. They'd mix dirty dishes with clean dishes when they decided to use the dishwasher. Oh, absolutely not. Oh my God. As a Virgo, like, I can feel my cortisol rising as I'm reading that paragraph. Okay. I, at this point, was in mid 30 weeks pregnant, was constantly cleaning up after them. Oh, bestie, no. Putting myself in extreme pain to the point that I started bleeding and puking. Oh, girly pop. Oh no. To the ER I went. Me and the baby were fine, thankfully. Oh yeah, no, they gotta go. I talked to them multiple times about this. It never got fixed. They never got jobs. They never paid anything. Giggitied numerous times and left stains and their mess and toys in plain sight in our bathroom. Ew, 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 ew. My mom and siblings were here for a little bit too, and the youngest being 10 years old. Oh, ew, 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 ew. Eventually I told my fiance because I couldn't do it anymore. He told them it had to stop or they had to leave. Newsflash. Still didn't stop. No, je téléphone à la police at this point. Hello, oui. You will come to pick up these disgusting people at my house. They are leaving shit everywhere, the toys, and they are nasty people. And I am pregnant and I do not want to see them anymore. Oui, thank you very much. See you soon. Like, I realize I don't know French, so I'm just doing a French accent. I gotta sound like Jean Chrétien when I do a French accent. Yes, I am the only Canadian that doesn't speak French. Okay, so I went into labor in the hospital for 5 days after delivery due to hypertension, which is high blood pressure.
Doctor?
She texted me asking where I went. I said I was having my son and we'd be home in a few days. Please remember the expectation I set before you guys came. I come home and they're still there. The kitchen was wrecked. I started crying and freaking out because it was disgusting and I knew I'd have to clean it. My fiance took care of all of that while he was on paternity leave, yay. I'm sorry, but at this point, like, I'd be throwing hands. I'd be calling the police. Like, I don't understand why you're letting it get this way. Come on. I know you're pregnant and but like, come on. Police. I don't even know if you can call the police in this instance, but like, husband's gotta be a little more threatening, you know? You know what I mean though, right? Like, why are we just letting this happen? We kept telling them it's time to go. You've had 6 weeks to figure this out. Then my fiance went back to work and the mess started again. So here I am, freshly postpartum, still healing and bleeding and breastfeeding, trying to take care of myself, blood pressure, and my new son. I was still cleaning the messes up. I'd be breastfeeding and her boyfriend would walk downstairs and say, ew, ew, cover yourself up, that's gross. Oh, absolutely not. No. At this point, you literally need to take their shit and put it outside and change the locks, girl. Come on. Stand up, babe. Then I freaked out. I called my fiance and said they had to leave. Now, my blood pressure was through the roof, deadly levels. We all sat down that night and told them they had to go or we'd be going to the authorities. They finally left at 3 a.m. the following morning. She was pissed at me, telling me how could a best friend do this to another, leave them homeless and on the streets? How could a best friend stress another best friend out so much, a pregnant best friend, that they had to go to the hospital and still refuse to do anything she asked? So, am I the a-hole for kicking them out because they were literally gonna kill me for my blood pressure and making it super difficult for a heavily pregnant girl to live life? I don't even think you needed like the last sentence, honestly. Like, they were gonna kill me. Like, point blank, they were being really disrespectful and you made rules and they didn't abide by them. So no, you're not the a-hole. Like, duh. This person is not your friend. I know, sometimes I read these stories and I'm like, what do you mean? I guess there are people who are telling OP that like, she's such an a-hole, she should have stuck it out. She's in the comments and saying like, oh, I should have been patient and dealt with it because they were my guests. I should have accommodated them and do what they want. But like, why though? They're not accommodating her. That's the people pleasers that are saying that shit. But even then, like, people pleasing, like, those are just pushovers. I'm glad that they left when they did, honestly, because like, you could have had a very serious situation on your hands where they're like squatters and like, it's actually very difficult to get people to leave once they're staying in your house. I'm glad that it worked out. It could have been a lot worse. I personally think that you should have had that sit down way, way, way before. But I'm glad they left and that you can live in peace now. You can have your baby and have quiet and everything. So no, you're not the a-hole. I understand you feel bad about putting your friend out on the street, but like, they really should have thought about that before they were incredibly disrespectful and didn't do anything you asked. So am I the a-hole for dropping out of my best friend's bridal party and ruining an 11-year friendship? My best friend did not make me maid of honor. I was a little sad and shocked, but that is okay. The day is not about me. Okay, remember that this is the right way to handle this. You are valid for feeling the way that you feel. I've been in similar situations, but unfortunately, you don't make it about you, okay? The day is not about me, but then she tells me she doesn't think the maid of honor would plan the bachelorette because she's too shy and basically implied she didn't trust her with the plans. So she wanted you to plan the bachelorette, even though you're not the maid of honor. Okay. I was even more upset because at this point it just seemed disrespectful, but I thought I love her and I will give her the day that she wants. She communicated that she wanted me to run any ideas by the maid of honor. She asked me to make the group chat instead of the maid of honor. She asked me to initiate the conversation. She would confide in me about things she wanted in her wedding. Okay. I mean, it kind of sounds like she like wants you to be her friend when it's convenient for her, but doesn't reciprocate feeling like she's your best friend. What am I trying to say? You see what I'm saying? Is it like translating? I don't know. Anyways, she wants the benefits of you believing that you're her best friend without... I'm having a brain fart. without giving you the honor of maid of honor. I messaged the maid of honor privately several times to try and get her to get things going and run things by her. She left me on red several times and then finally told me to start messaging the group for these things. I started messaging the group as per her request. We only communicated via the group. 3 months before the set bachelorette date, the maid of honor tries to move her bachelorette to the dead of winter, 5 months away from her actual wedding date, because she couldn't clear her schedule within the next 4 months. She was overall being a terrible maid of honor, and my friend confided in me about this. The bride called me crying about how unimportant she feels and how she really is upset no one is willing to shell out their money or time, specifically the maid of honor. She said at this point she would rather have no bachelorette than get stuck in a snowstorm. I mean, I feel like this could have been avoided if you were chosen to be maid of honor. I'm just saying. It's her choice at the end of the day. I feel like I don't mean to be petty about it, but God, this reminds me of one time where my friend got married and I thought that we were best friends and stuff like that. And I was feeling kind of sad that I wasn't a bridesmaid, but it is what it is. And then it turns out that her bridesmaid didn't even show up to her wedding. And I was there. I was doing her makeup on her wedding day. I was bummed out about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was bummed out. I was I'm here doing your makeup, giving nice speeches about you, here all day with you, and the person that you chose didn't even come to your wedding, buddy. Anyways, again, I didn't say anything about it. It still upset me, but I didn't say anything. And by the way, I feel like she kind of watches this channel sometimes. Love you. I didn't say anything, okay? I didn't say anything, but just know I was hurt. Carrying on, I tried to hint at the maid of honor to understand that the bride was upset and didn't want a bachelorette in January, but it wasn't working. I finally sent that she's actually very much against doing it in January and doesn't want us to pay tons, to not even go outside or be snowed in. She does want her girls to be there, but she also wants people to put in a little more effort to accommodate her. It is hurtful that no one is willing to sacrifice a day, weekend, or money to make things work the way she wants. We should be working to move our schedules, not trying to make her move her bachelorette 5 months before her wedding in the middle of winter. It's really inconsiderate, to be honest. This message released absolute chaos and put tension on the whole bridal party. Oof. Okay. Yeah, awkward. Bridal party reached out to the bride and she did a 180. She told me I overstepped, started putting words in my mouth, and tried to make it seem like I was crazy. I beg your finest pardon. Were you not the only person who was looking out for her interests? She wouldn't admit to asking me to take on these roles. She acted like I made up those messages and just wanted control. Oh, absolutely not. You did not put yourself in the line of fire for this She just started straight lying. Oh no. I would literally copy and paste. I would literally screenshot and send it to the group chat. She pretended like I had been overstepping the entire time and said I was over planning. A week went by because I felt space and in person would make this conversation more approachable. I invited her out to dinner and this girl doubles down on how the bridal party has full rights to hate me and it will take time while telling me I need to get over it because it's been a week and I'm being selfish. Okay, so you need to get over it, but everybody else has time to get over it. Got it. She then starts saying I'm jealous. Oh, not the J word. That she has friends. And I'm like, girl, this has nothing to do with you having friends, but the fact that you put me in a hard situation and turned on me. That's all I'm trying to talk about. She just kept lying and making up stuff while I'm trying to have a legitimate conversation. After talking in circles at the restaurant, I sent her a text that told her it's best I step down because I don't even know who she is right now. A part of me feels shitty because it's her day, but she also is legitimately gaslighting me and pretending I made stuff up. Am I the a-hole for saying something that the bride communicated to me? Am I the a-hole for not letting the bride's betrayal go? She's kind of being really mean to you. I'm not gonna lie. It's one thing to downgrade you and make you feel like you're not her friend. And again, it's her choice, but at the end of the day, it's it is what it is. I would just remove myself, you know? Okay, well, I'm not gonna, it's fine. I'm just not gonna include myself then. It's almost like she's to you about everybody else, and then she also to everybody else about you. And they're all she's just over here and over there. Oh man. man. Yeah, I would want to remove myself. This is a very toxic kind of situation. She doesn't really seem to value your friendship at all. It's one thing to kind of like, you know, not accommodate you with regards to like, you know, she didn't make you maid of honor, okay? That's, at the end of the day, that's her choice. Sometimes it's a tough call, but I feel like you're the only person that's doing what she asked and putting her feelings first, and she's not doing the same thing for you. And it's like, I don't know. I would also kind of feel like, okay, well, I thought I was a maid of honor. Like, I don't know why you're like, you know, I'm just along for the ride, you know? Anyways, am I the a-hole for dropping out of your best friend's bridal party and ruining an 11-year friendship? I think in this instance, I think she's being a bridezilla, and I think that you're valid for like not wanting to be a part of that. I think there's a difference between what's going on here and like the other story in this video. Like, let's not treat people with absolute cruelty. Like, yes, we have like, it's our wedding and our day, but like, let's not be an asshole about it, okay? There's certain things that you're gonna have to be an asshole on, like choosing a maid of honor, choosing who's in your bridal party, picking where people are sitting, choosing who to invite, et cetera, but like, let's like past that. It's like, okay, let's not be like rude to people who are like just trying to accommodate us, you know? So I'm gonna go with not the a-hole, but, oh wait, hang on. Let's ask the audience. People are saying post the screenshots. I agree. Watch the bomb drop. Oh, but then she'll have no friends though. I mean, you very well could post screenshots that show her talking shit about all her bridal party friends. Just saying. But like, do you want that like karma? I don't know. Is it deserved? Is that her getting her karma? Maybe, but like otherwise it becomes this vicious cycle of like, take your karma, me get my karma, you get your karma, you know? Not the a-hole. If you have any of the bride's messages, drop them in the group chat and block them all. I hope she has the wedding she deserves. Everyone's really petty in this comment section. Not the a-hole. She threw you under the bus and keeps doubling down. Step out of the wedding and out of her life. She sounds toxic. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even think that you need to like drop the text messages. I think that you can remove yourself for sure. I think it's going to implode on its own. I don't think that you need to do anything, honestly. Like, as entertaining as it is, the thought of it, no, but no, okay, like, come on, let's not stoop, you guys. Okay. Yeah, Dunzo. Enough. Settle. So order in the cart, okay? No, you're not the a-hole. It's decided. But depending on whether or not you want to drop the screenshots, you might be the a-hole. But like, is being in the a-hole so bad? Whoopsie. Sometimes you need to be the a-hole. I'm just saying. Here's one that's gonna ruffle some feathers. Am I overreacting? My friend was 2 hours late. Go on. So my friend and I made plans earlier in the week to hang out for dinner on Saturday. She texted me at noon on Saturday saying she's getting drinks with a friend and we go out at 9. So wait, you had plans and then she made other plans that she didn't invite you to and decided to move your plans. I didn't think it was a big deal and said, oh, my beauty light, Oh God, that was a close one. I didn't think it was a big deal and said sure. Then it gets pushed to 9:30, then 10, then 11. I know you know how I feel at this point. I added the screenshots so you can see the timeline, but I sat in my car outside the bar for an hour and a half and then went home. Oh no. I shouldn't have waited so long, but I've been having a really tough time and was so excited for this and spent ages getting ready. We've been friends for 10 years and she has never been this bad with timing. We also never really argued. I was frustrated because I wasted my Saturday night after declining invitations to see other people. I feel like she pushed me aside for her other friend and I just drove home and cried. I feel so alone and unimportant. Oh, baby girl. No, this is really messed up. Like, I understand that she's never been late before, but like, she literally just like left you hanging, like didn't care about the fact that you were waiting for her. Like, I would be so mad. Like, would this be friendship ending? I don't know, but I would be really mad. It would depend on whether or not that friend like apologized or not. Like, if that friend refused to apologize and just like gaslit me after like I got mad at her for being 2 hours late, or like, honestly, it kind of sounded like she didn't even show up at all. You just went home. So she just ditched you. Yeah, it would really depend on how that friend would react. But like, let's see. Let's read the text messages. It'll be like 9:45. Oh my God, sorry, can we do 10? Sure. Do you want to meet us here? I don't know what time we'll be done. We're getting one more drink. Sure, where are you? Don't hate me. I feel like blank is venting. Can we meet at 11 p.m. for sure? And maybe it'll be a good time when there's more people. Girl, I'm already here. Oh my God, sorry. I was getting a tarot card reading. Okay, me and friend are going to debrief really quick. I'm gonna tell her we had plans and you'll be meeting us. I mean, you literally should have said that before. I'm at a speakeasy inside an Italian restaurant. It is called, sorry, give me 20 minutes. Please don't hate me. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at time. Girl, it's fine, but I've been sitting in my car for an hour and it sucks. Are we meeting at 11? Yes. Do you want to come to this bar? Honestly, no. I thought we were going and I've been sitting here for an hour. I think I'm gonna go home. Sorry, don't hate me. I'll be there in 20. I'm driving home. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. I can come to your house if you want. For what? Are you mad? I know I f***ed up. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm always pretty chill about being late and plan changes, but truthfully, I'm upset about tonight. I declined other plans just to sit in my car for over an hour after already waiting an hour because you pushed it back while you bailed on me for someone else. I had a really bad week and I needed my friend, but clearly I'm not a priority to you. You are a priority, and I know I've done this many times of overbooking plans. Okay, so this is not the first time. Because I think things will work out and then they don't, and they blow up in my face, just like they did today. Knowing and thinking that hangouts with other friend are usually short because she calls the night short, I really thought that was going to be the case again. Like, are we not telling our friend? Like, I don't understand how you double book. Like, how do you double book this? Let's just bank on the fact that this hangout's only gonna be 20 minutes and like not tell her that I have other plans. No, absolutely not. Like, what the I'm sorry, you had plans already. And then when this other friend wanted to make plans with you, you should have said, hey, I already have plans. Maybe we can all do something together, but like, just so you know, like I have plans. Like maybe we could do it another day, or if you don't mind, maybe we can all hang out. Yeah, it's also the fact that like you weren't included in these other plans, despite the fact that she ditched you for those plans. Me no likey. And it wasn't, she had a lot on her mind and I was trying to be a good friend. Then we got the tarot card read and got another drink and it just took longer. And again, it just kind of blew up in my face. And I'm so sorry. I don't want you to think I'm not prioritizing you. I just need to be better and not making so many plans, thinking it's all going to work out. You know I cherish and love you so much. I have a lot of bad habits and issues I need to work on. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate her apologizing profusely, but like at the same time, it's like this seems to be like a repeat problem with her. So like you can accept the apology this time, but if she does it again, I would like not hang out with this person again. Like that it really genuinely is that serious. You knew I was in the restaurant and sat there for an hour and a half and you still never told your other friend that you had to go. That's a very good point. Obviously spending time with her was more important and you didn't even tell me. You just kept saying 20 minutes and then not showing up. So that doesn't really feel like being prioritized. You know what? When you put it like that, like you were absolutely valid. Like she knew that you were honestly, this reminds me of something. This has fully happened to me before, only I wasn't alone. I was with somebody else and I wanted, like the plans were that we were gonna meet up and then my friend just literally let me wait there for like 2 hours and so we just left. But the difference is that friend gaslit me when I like was kind of annoyed about being ditched sort of, or like her not following through, and then she was like gaslighting me and like I didn't speak to her for like a really long time after that. I will say that I appreciate that this friend seems to be like really sorry, but I don't love the behavior in general. Like you can be sorry, but like if someone keeps like doing this sort of thing and like not taking you seriously and not prioritizing you, I would distance myself for sure. I don't think you're overreacting at all. She wasn't 2 hours late. She never showed. She stood you up for another person. That's a very good point. She ditched you and knew that you were waiting for her the whole time. The text read she was prioritizing the other person's needs over you. You're valid to feel hurt by that. It's super inconsiderate as she knows you're waiting. I don't even understand how people are like okay with stuff like this. Like if I know that someone is waiting for me, I can't even use the public bathroom and take a shit. If I know that there's a lineup of people outside waiting to use the bathroom and I need to take a shit, I will not take a shit. Like I will stop myself from taking a shit. And I don't even know these people. Like they're random people. I would literally never see them in my entire life again. But I cannot stand the idea of someone like needing to pee and like waiting for me to poo. No. And then, oh my God, and then they have to use the stall after me and it stinks. Oh my God, no, no. I can't. I literally don't understand how people can be this inconsiderate. Like it bothers me. So you can set some clear expectations and leave it up to her to show up. Yeah, I would say that like boundaries, again, like if take a little bit of time, but like just next time you two make plans, just be like, honestly, like if you're late again, I'm gonna be like kind of upset. So like if you could just please like show up on time, I would appreciate it. If she does, great. If this continues, continues, consider creating some distance so you're less likely to be hurt and disappointed. If someone told me they were going to be late because they were getting a tarot card reading, I think it's a joke. Oh my God, so sorry, babe. I know you were waiting for an hour and a half. I was just like, I was getting a tarot card reading. Get the fuck out of there. Oh my God, that is super funny. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're overreacting at all. I would argue that you're kind of underreacting. But yeah, set some boundaries. And if she does it again, reconsidering this friendship. Am I the a-hole for ending a 35-year friendship because my friend is getting married before me? Gotta say, I don't know how I feel about that title, girl, but I'll hear you out. This is from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. I, 50 female, am marrying my partner, 47 male, of over 10 years next year. We've been planning this wedding for about 2 years. Second marriage for my fiance and I. We will be having a destination wedding to our favorite place, May 9th, and then a few months later, a reception at home. Our wedding is planned to be a very small affair with close friends and family. Someone I have known most of my life, I'll call her Becky, 51 female, asked to officiate our wedding, as this is something she does and loves doing. However, my best friend asked if she could and obtained all the legal documents to do so. About a year and a half ago, I told Becky that my best friend would be doing the officiating. She proceeded to cry and tell me how hurt she is, how much it matters to be invited, and said when she got married, she wanted me to officiate her wedding no matter what. So, feeling like an a-hole, I caved and invited her. I did not plan to, but I didn't want drama, unironically. The time between now and then, she's not RSVP'd and has not even opened an email invite, yet continues to make comments about the fact that they will be there. Fast forward to this fall, Becky gets engaged with her longtime partner of 4 years, Tommy. First marriage for Becky, second for Tommy. Becky has befriended a friend of mine, Sarah, 38 female. Becky informed Sarah of their wedding date, January 2026, at her favorite place, making it a destination wedding. And they will have a reception in town in April, a few months later, like me. She's also planning a bachelorette party the week after mine. She asked Sarah to specifically not tell me the dates, maybe just to keep the destination wedding secret, but she's not sure. Clearly, Sarah told me. During all of this, I still haven't received an RSVP for anything. Mutual friends, mind you, our mutual friends are friends I have introduced her to, are stating how with my bachelorette party, wedding, and reception, they've had 2 years to plan and save for the wedding parties and wedding presents. But now this rushed wedding of Becky's feels financially straining. There's also questions about why everything is being rushed and has to be done before my wedding date. Ooh. I wouldn't be surprised if your friend Becky says that she can't come to your wedding now. I'm just saying. This is not the first time Becky has tried to invite my friends to her events around big events I've planned. I feel manipulated, for one. Everything she cried about in 2024 to get an invite has not happened, and it's been over a year. I feel my wedding ideas are being copied. I feel like she's competing with me for attention, the big moment, and the attention of our mutual friends. The ones I've talked to are telling me they feel the same, and Becky's not my friend. I feel at 50, I shouldn't even have to have this conversation, and these actions are on purpose. I'm lost on why she's doing this. Because planning a destination wedding, I do not have the time to attend any of her events she's squeezing in, and it's rude to even ask. I'm thinking about writing a text message after her wedding, simply stating this is how I feel, and I'm choosing to end the friendship and revoking her invites. I do not want to do it now because I don't want to cause problems for Sarah telling me. Am I the a-hole if I do that? It is interesting that she's choosing to do everything related to the wedding before you. You have the same mutual friends. I mean, it happens, you know, like it happens. It's just like it being a destination wedding, like two friends in the same friend group. It's going to be hard for people to go to both. Yeah, it's like, why the rush? You know what I mean? I like that you were going to wait till after the wedding. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like this is like, it's weird that these are, you know, you guys are 50, right? But this feels very odd and calculated. And I think that if you feel like something's going on, something probably is going on. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like, I like that you want to wait till after her wedding to express your concerns. I think it's probably best if you do that, or just like don't say anything at all. I wouldn't be surprised if she like doesn't even show up to your wedding. I don't even think it's necessary to like have the conversation. I think that she's so focused on herself that you won't even need to talk to her about it. I don't think you are the a-hole, but you both seem to be obsessing over each other. Oh, hot take. Text her now, end the friendship, revoke the invite, and be done. This seems a weird two-way street of fixation. I mean, yeah, you've got a point. Maybe it could be true. I don't know. This could be something petty or whatever. You don't know why she's having the wedding before you, but it doesn't really sound like this is that great of a friendship anyway. Like if you're feeling this type of way about her, sounds like it's probably best if you just end the friendship. My brother and sister-in-law planned their baby shower on the same day as my wedding. Them's is fighting words. It's a little early in the morning to be this angry. This story was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Hey Reddit, boy oh boy do I have tea for y'all. I, 25 male, met my beautiful fiance, 25 female, in September of 2024. I moved from my state to her state 3 months after we met so I could be closer to her. We got engaged in July 2025, exactly 10 months after we met, and we set the wedding date for March 14th. Oh, that's coming up. Wait, July 25? That's coming up. Ooh. No offense, but you'd think the females would be the ones bringing all the drama to our wedding, right? Not in this case. Ooh, fun. I love a little change of pace. My two older brothers, let's call them Dumb, aka Jay, 36 male, and Dumber, aka Pat, 33 male, have brought nothing but drama to my wedding. Okay. Drama is genderless, my friends. I asked both of my brothers to be groomsmen since I was the best man in Pat's wedding and also in Jay's wedding. They both said yes, and that's where the drama begins. A month later, Pat calls me and says he won't be able to make it to my wedding because his wife is pregnant and her due date is in late April. Mind you, my wedding is 5 to 6 weeks before her due date, and it's about a 4-hour drive. I brushed it off, congratulated him on the pregnancy, and moved on. I then asked another friend of mine, who's also out of state, let's call him Steve, if he would take Pat's place. He said yes. I'm just so confused as to why Pat dropped out of your wedding because his wife's due date is 5 to 6 weeks after your wedding. Like, maybe if the due date was on the wedding date, yeah, I would understand, but side eye. Come Black Friday, I decided to rent our suits since that's normally cheaper. It was about $175 on sale because of Black Friday for the suit, shoes, shirt, belt, and pants. Steve and Jay complained that it was too much money, that it was Black Friday, and since they have kids, they wouldn't be able to spend that much on renting a suit. Okay. They then reached out to me separately and asked if we could buy instead since that would be cheaper.
You sure about that?
So I gave in, and the suits, shoes, belt, shirts, and pants came out to a total of $250. So much for buying being cheaper. Fast forward to January, my fiance and I decided to have a joint bachelorette trip in the mountains since we figured it would be more fun with more people. The girls would do their own thing during the day, the guys would do their own thing, and we'd all do a group activity together in the evening. We decided to do it in January since Jay is an accountant and wouldn't have been able to do it sooner. After my fiance sent out all the details, Jay and Steve declined the invite to the batch trip. So wait, we're literally planning around these people and then they decline anyway? With friends like these, who needs enemies? So without my knowledge, my fiance had also included in the questionnaire she sent out whether the guys would want to save money and share a bed or pay extra to have their own bed. Jay and Steve saw this and started complaining behind my back. And my brothers and my dad then proceeded to call me gay for asking if the guys wanted to share a bed.
You can't get gayer than this.
The batch trip was absolutely incredible and so much fun. I am so relieved to hear that. Like, here's the thing. I kind of found, with obviously it hurts when people that are close to you seem to be the people that don't show up for you. But whenever they remove themselves from a situation, it's never at least not in my case, it's never a bad thing. It's still kind of fun and drama-less as well. Dare I say, if they did go, maybe it wouldn't have been as fun. A couple of weeks after the batch trip, my fiance gets a text from my sister-in-law, Pat's wife. She sent us save the dates for her baby shower. And wouldn't you know it, the baby shower is on March 14th. Yep, the same day as my wedding. Okay. Interesting choice. Okay, so I'm guessing you guys all have similar friends, family members. I like the audacity to send you an invite too, with the date on it. You obviously can't go. And I'm guessing most of your family members can't go. Hopefully they don't have to choose between the two events, but maybe some of them will feel the need to choose between them. That's also a lot Like, I'm sorry. Like, if someone in my family announced that as if it's like,
Okay, well, now you have to pick.
and people like will have to do both in some way, like not only is it financially irresponsible for like everyone attending or people that you want to attend, but it's also just like a huge pain in the for like, what if someone does want to go to both? Like, okay, so now I'm going to go to the wedding and then, or like go to the baby shower and then go to the wedding after, or like vice versa. And like, you're saying that it's like 4-hour drives away. That is so inconsiderate of like, not only you and your wedding date, but like everyone they know who might have to attend both or want to attend both. That's all I have to say.
It's downright tacky.
A week later, they had the absolute audacity
The nerve, the gall, the audacity.
to send my fiance an invitation to the baby shower with a message that said, "We know y'all are far away, but we'd love it if you could come." And what, miss our wedding?
And yes, the gumption.
There are literally so many other weekends that they could have held a baby shower. Like, you're saying that there's like a 6-week difference. Why? Make it make sense. Like, if this isn't a way to steal your shine and cause drama, I don't know what is. The reason they're having the baby shower on my wedding day, in my speculation, is because my sister-in-law can't stand my family. So she chose our wedding day knowing none of my family would be able to attend, meaning only her family will be there.
Smart, actually.
Okay. I guess I kind of, but like, I still don't like it. Like, I still think that, like, what about you though? Like, your focus should be on your wedding day. You are absolutely not attending someone else's baby shower. And not only that, now they can't come to your wedding, I'm guessing, because they want you at their baby shower. Absolutely not. Update. A lot of people keep asking about my family and whether Pat is making them choose sides. No, my family can't stand Pat and Hilly. So even if they tried to pull that card, my family would still choose to come to my wedding without a second thought. Okay, well, that's a relief.
That is a relief.
It's a relief that people aren't having to choose between the two and you're going to lose wedding guests. My siblings and my dad will be there. My mom will not be attending as she passed 3 years ago. I'm sorry to hear that. Is there any other guests that they are going to be pulling away from your wedding that are going to have to choose between the two? Now for the part they'd probably prefer I leave out. This is not Pat and Hilly's first child.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, unpopular opinion, and I have expressed this opinion in the past. I think it makes sense to have like a first baby shower. I think it's a life event that, you know, like other than your wedding, that like most people that love you will be there, will shower you with gifts and diapers and all of that. When it comes to subsequent children, it kind of heads into the like out of touch, not fair to everybody else territory, because like, what do you mean you're having another baby shower where people have to get you gifts?
It's all about me.
And furthermore, this is their third child. They already have 2 daughters and another girl on the way. Hilly has had 0 complications with any of her pregnancies or deliveries. This is not an emergency, not a crisis, and not some tragic circumstance. It's a conscious decision to hijack attention. And yes, it's exactly as selfish as it sounds. No, it 100% is incredibly selfish. Because like, what do you mean you're having a baby shower for your third child? Like, I don't know, maybe I'll feel differently once I have kids, but like me personally, I would feel so uncomfortable. Like I already felt uncomfortable with like the concept of like gifts in addition to like people taking time out of their day and work schedules to like come to my wedding. Like I specifically said on our wedding website, gifts were like not a requirement. Please just your presence is a present. I would feel personally so uncomfortable with the idea of asking people to give me a gift for my third child. It like leave the other part out of it, like the whole stealing attention, like choosing to have it on a date where it's someone else's wedding that they should have attended. Yeah, no, that's pretty selfish, if I may say. And just when you think it can't get worse, there's more. The person who contacted my fiance was Hilly's best friend. For clarity, none of Hilly's friends have any relationship with my fiance or I. My fiance was intentionally added to make sure we knew that instead of celebrating our wedding, they would be celebrating themselves. This was calculated, unnecessary, and dripping with main character syndrome. Yeah. I know you said that like it was your brother that was like the men that are causing it, but like this is for sure like this is also your sister-in-law. Like make no mistake. So no, this isn't a misunderstanding. This isn't bad timing. This is two people repeatedly showing everyone exactly who they are. Honestly, like I said, babe, I know you like want your brother to be at your wedding. Like it would be nice if he would like be able to celebrate you, but it kind of just sounds like you're better off if he's not there. I hate to say it. And believe me, I've been there. But like, I think it's probably for the best. You know, let them have their baby shower. Let everybody in the family talk about how awful they are for choosing to do it on the same day as your wedding. Like they're embarrassing themselves at this point. Like everyone can see it. Like I'm objective here. I don't know the relationship between, you know, your brother and your family or your sister-in-law and your family. I don't know any of that. But like the choice to have their baby shower on the day of your wedding says a lot. Like them's is fighting words. So we do have an update.
How I have longed to hear those words.
I know I love it when you say that. I know you love it when I say that. You just say it again.
I was talking to my dad last night, and shockingly, the baby shower fiasco came up again.
Oh, there's a big surprise.
Turns out Pat and Hilly went over to my dad's house on Saturday, my condolences, and he confronted them about why the baby shower was scheduled on my literal wedding day. Pat immediately played dumb and claimed he had no idea it was on my wedding date and proceeded to claim that it was the only day they could host the shower. Be so for real. Which is hilarious considering he knew the date when I asked him to be a groomsman and when we got the save the date. Hilly openly admitted she knew it was the same day as our wedding, so yeah, that was a lie.
That was a lie.
For some background, because this behavior didn't come out of nowhere, back in August 2025, when I asked Pat and Jay to be my groomsmen, we were on a family vacation. Normally, my dad buys the groceries for these trips and doesn't expect anyone to pay him back. This time, before we even arrived, Pat and Hilly decided to go rogue, bought groceries for everyone without telling us, and then informed us we owed them $70 for each person/couple. No discussion, no heads up, just a Venmo request. Interesting. That's very interesting. So when your dad buys free groceries, they'll take it without complaint and seemingly forget. When they buy groceries, they want to be paid back immediately. Got it. At the time, my fiance and I had just gotten engaged. I genuinely couldn't afford it, especially since I had already paid my dad $450 for our share of the Airbnb, which is normal in my family and something we plan for months in advance. What I did not plan for was a surprise $70 grocery bill for food I didn't ask for and didn't know existed. Yeah, I mean, nobody knew that they were going grocery shopping, and you would have gotten it for free too. So like, however, I refused to pay it, considering I couldn't afford it and their lack of communication was not about to cost me $70. My refusal apparently caused too much drama, so my dad paid Pat the $70 on our behalf just to make it stop. Fast forward to this weekend, while visiting my dad, Pat mentioned that his wedding gift to me would be the $70 I never paid him. This is so funny! The $70 that he also got from your dad. So he wants to like make money. Absolutely not. My dad snapped and told him he already paid it. Pat then denied ever receiving the money confidently until Hilly finally corrected him and confirmed that yes, my dad did pay him. And because why not pile it on, Pat also complained about how expensive our wedding registry is before purchasing the cheapest item on it. This is from the same man who proudly put a $700 Yeti cooler on his registry a few years ago. So to recap, lies about the date, selective amnesia about money already paid, and complaints about how expensive my wedding registry is. To be honest, if they're going to choose to not attend your wedding, they better be buying the most expensive thing on that list. Maybe not the most expensive, but I'm always of the opinion that if you choose to not attend a wedding, you know, for monetary reasons whatsoever, you better be prepared to, like, at the very least, get a nice gift, you know?
So I got you this box.
Honestly, OP, this is cray-cray. Yes, the brothers are causing drama, but your sister-in-law is definitely causing drama too. Like I said, with people like this, honestly, it's just better that they're not there. You're barely gonna notice. Like, you might have a moment where it's like, man, like, I really wish I saw my brother when I was walking down the aisle. But other than that, like, that day is gonna be about you, bestie. You're gonna be surrounded by people who love you and want to celebrate you. It's going to be the best party of your life. You don't need this. And everyone's pointing out, don't buy them a baby gift. Don't. Just say, don't get me a wedding gift. I won't get you a baby gift. Let's call it square.
Even Steven.
I wouldn't even be buying them a baby. Like, okay, here's the thing. For brothers, sisters, like, you know, I would probably get a baby gift if it was the third baby. But an entire baby shower,
You're doing too much.
Or send a children's book. So your parents have main character syndrome, or going NC at 18, a step-by-step guide. That's also nice. Yeah, I think the best thing to do, and everybody else in the comments is pointing this out too, just send your regrets.
I regret nothing. The end.
Say, sorry, can't attend your baby shower. I have a prior commitment. Lots of love. Enjoy your day. And that's it. Don't react. Don't get a rise out of them. And just kind of go low contact, I think, for a bit. Because, like, in this lifetime, you only have one wedding. If you have more, whatever. But, like, you know, you plan to have, only one wedding, right? That's what everybody wants.
Speak for yourself.
Baby showers, it's not the type of thing that you're supposed to have more than one of, in my opinion. Maybe that will change. My opinion might change. I still feel weird about it. And certainly not a baby shower, a third baby shower on a conflicting date where they are supposed to be at your wedding. Like, they consciously chose to not be there for you on your wedding day. Do not react. Go low contact. I promise you, you're going to have an amazing time at your wedding. And congratulations, by the way. We got some more family drama coming your way. And by the way, if you're watching this channel and you're not subscribed, I think like maybe 23% of you watch this channel and you don't subscribe. Please subscribe. Stay a while. Let's hang out.
Why don't you take your coat off and stay a while?
All right, this next one is also from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Am I the a-hole for asking my grieving boyfriend to set boundaries with his mom after she wears my bathing suit? I, 39 female, was dating Mark, 38 male, for almost 5 months when his dad sadly passed away from cancer. Oh, awful. It was awful, obviously. His dad was awesome, and Mark and him were very close. I tried to be supportive, respectful, give space, all that. But here's the thing. His mom. Before his dad passed, she was already a lot. Here's a list. FaceTimes my boyfriend 2 to 3 times every day. Shows up unannounced 3 to 4 times a week. She lives 45 minutes away. Does his laundry, cleans his house, cooks for him, rearranges his furniture, decorated his entire house. This man is 38. Ooh. See, and you best believe he's going to be looking for a replacement for his mom and a wife. I'm just saying, it's the way it goes. Every weekend, she would just appear at his house, where I also was, and sit there bad-mouthing his ex for hours in front of me, which felt like less bonding and more like an audition. Look how much I hated the last one. Meanwhile, she was syrupy sweet to my face in a way that made my skin itch. There's something about that that's like, makes me wonder if she's syrupy sweet to your, like when you're not there. Fast forward, his dad passes. I'm walking on eggshells because grief is brutal and I'm not a monster. One day, while I'm not there, she goes into his house and wears my bathing suit in the spa. Not a random spare, my bathing suit. I only find out because she takes it home with her to wash it. Okay. I think you would be much less mad about this situation if she had told you up front or if she had asked permission. I don't know how you feel about like hygiene and stuff. I really don't. When I go to a friend's place, my friend has a pool in her place.
Ooh, fancy pants.
She lets me borrow her bathing suit. It's no big deal, but I do take it home with me and wash it after that. I lend my friends my underwear sometimes. Not used underwear, just like underwear, you know? Like it's just like I'm never gonna get it back, but it's like they ask first. Usually it's okay, right? So let me repeat that. She drove 45 minutes home with my used bathing suit to wash it, even though she usually does her son's laundry at his place. Oh no, she was trying to hide it. Like 1000%. That was her trying to hide it because she knows she shouldn't have done that. After the bathing suit incident, I stayed quiet because she had just lost her husband. I didn't want to be the villain over swimwear. The next day, my boyfriend casually tells me he's turning his basement into an apartment for his mom so she can move in. Not a discussion, a decision. I took a few days to process and then I asked to talk calmly. I said I understood she's grieving, but before she moves in, he needs to set boundaries. I think that's quite reasonable. I mentioned how intense things are already and that her wearing my bathing suit without asking made me uncomfortable. He got defensive immediately, took her side, and told me to leave. Then he gave me the silent treatment for 2 days. And after that, he dumped me by text. It hurts, but honestly, if asking for basic boundaries ends a relationship, it probably wasn't much of one to begin with. Here's the thing, guys. I know I always talk about preaching, boundaries and, like standing your ground when you feel uncomfortable about a situation and like people are kind of walking all over you and all that kind of stuff. Like, I have issues with it too. But it's also because the people that I set boundaries with are used to that. They're used to me not having, like, letting them do whatever they want. And unfortunately, when you set boundaries, you are going to lose people. You are going to lose people. People that don't respect your boundaries, okay? They don't respect you as a person. I think all you're doing is asking your boyfriend to just like, we're going to be sharing the same space. There needs to be like some boundaries here. And he doesn't want to do that.
So get rid of him.
He probably worships his mom, like, she does everything for him and stuff like that. But he picked his mom over you at the end of the day. The good thing that happens when you set boundaries with people is that they're actually much less likely to f around and find out, Some people might be turned off by the idea of like you having a boundary. The good ones will respect that and not push your buttons anymore. Either way, in my opinion, you win. Quite frankly, this dude is 38. He's going to be living with his mom. I understand it's a time for them. Let him figure it out, Like, it's not going to be easy. Like, I don't think it's going to be... If I was dating a 38-year-old man and I went over to his house and I found out his mom lived in his basement, like, I'm sorry, but, like, that would be, like, a hard pass for me. Run! You only lost 5 months on this guy. It's a difficult time for them. It is what it is. You set a boundary. He also has a greater stake in it because he lost his dad and, he's seeing his grieving mother and stuff like that. It's just bad timing. And, it is what it is. He needs to do what he needs to do for his mom. And unfortunately, that doesn't include you. But I think it's probably best for both of you. Am I the a-hole for asking your grieving boyfriend to set boundaries with his mom after she wears my bathing suit? Like, no. I think that that's like a reasonable thing to do. You're not the a-hole just because the relationship ended and like, he chose his mom over you. And don't let it stop you from setting boundaries in the future. Am I the a-hole for not changing my bachelorette party location so my sister-in-law can attend? I, 27 female, and my fiance, 28 male, have decided to start planning our wedding for 2026. We've been engaged since 2023, and honestly, life has just been hard, and we've been trying to get financially secure before having our wedding. I've already been married before, and it was a courthouse wedding. My fiance has never been married before, so we're both pretty set on having an actual wedding where both of our families can attend. We've been together for 7 years this coming Halloween, and 5 of the 7 years we lived with his brother, his wife, and their growing family. They went from 0 kids to basically a football team within 4 years. My brother-in-law, let's call him Mike, and his wife, let's call her Katie, are in the bridal party as a groomsman and a bridesmaid. Mike is very stuck in his own ways and is very narcissistic. If it's not his way, it's not happening. No benefit to him, doesn't happen. Everything is his, nothing was ours, and Katie, deep down, I don't believe is like that, but I believe Mike has rubbed off on her and she's just adapted. We finally get out on our own and are growing our own family. My son, 9 years old from a previous marriage, and the son we have together. He proposed in September of 2023 after spending his last dollar on my ring. And then life happened and we just haven't gotten around to planning until recently. They had a situation happen where they lost everything except their car and furniture. So them and their 4 children, 14 male, 5 male, 4 female, and 1 female, moved in with us for 6 months. We didn't charge rent.
There's always room for family.
We didn't ask for much. We even paid some of their bills, sometimes to help out. They cleaned every day and used their food stamps to fill the house with food. In the midst of their crisis and living with us for free, they thought it would be a good idea to get pregnant again. Okay. One day, I sit down in my living room with Mike, Katie, and my fiance, and we're talking about the wedding and the bridal party, who's going to do what and stand where, etc. My 2 best friends are obviously bridesmaids. Katie speaks up and says, I don't care as long as bridesmaid 2 doesn't walk with Mike. I don't like her. He can walk with bridesmaid 1. Okay. I didn't like that she started up telling me who I can have where in my wedding, and honestly, the way things lined up, Mike was going to be walking with bridesmaid too. It wasn't intentional, but I'm not changing my wedding plans to make her more comfortable. Okay. To some degree, I can understand like not liking someone and not wanting someone to walk down the aisle with my husband. But like at the same time, like what is that? 10 seconds, 20 seconds out of my life? Yeah, I don't feel like that's a hill that I'm willing to die on, but anyways, I'll let you continue. Mike was and is still upset with my fiance for not making him best man and is now refusing to give a speech at the wedding or participate in any planning of the bachelor party, donating any money, or just helping in any way at all.
Okay, and?
Tale as old as time. A couple of months later, I get with my maid of honor and we're planning my bachelorette party in a town in Tennessee. None of us have money really like that, so I find it easier to just be a part of the planning to help budget and keep things cheap but fun. Small Airbnb, couple small bars, dancing, and a small shopping day. The trip itself is 2 nights. My brother-in-law comes up to me one day and says,
"Why are you having your bachelorette trip here? You know Katie isn't allowed to go there because of our history."
Our history. She feels excluded and like you guys aren't really friends because of it. You should change the location. And gave me a list of locations his wife is allowed to go to. I beg your finest pardon. Allowed? What do we mean by allowed? Like legally, is she not allowed to go to the state or something? Or do you just not like it when she goes there, sir? For context, these two have tried to control every aspect of my wedding. Who stands where, who wears what, where the wedding is. Mike even tried to turn my wedding day into a music video shoot since we have the property rented and we should use it to the fullest extent before we leave at the end of the night. I said, I understand why you don't want her going there, but I don't really see how she considers us friends. He looked angry and asked me what I was talking about. I proceeded to bring up all the time she took my clothes without ever returning them after I asked, and if she's seen me wearing something of hers, she'll throw a tantrum until I took it off. How she tells me I need to submit to my fiance and have as many babies as he wants me to have. Okay, I have to say, I feel kind of sad for her. How when we worked together any day, I wasn't there, she would talk about how much money I owed them, talk bad about my parenting, and how she didn't like me and couldn't wait until I was out of her house for good. Okay, I almost felt bad for her there for a second. But like, let's unpack this for a second, because like, it kind of sounds like your brother-in-law is quite controlling. Maybe you're right. Maybe some of that is like coming off on her. But it kind of is hard to feel bad for some, like she's not like a shrinking violet, you know what I mean? Like she's not just like a battered housewife. She seems to be also participating in the general fury of this marriage. Anyways, he said, regardless of that, I should be considerate and change the location of my bachelorette so she can attend. Sounds like he's used to pushing people around, including his wife. More context, we live 2 hours away from my family and 2 hours away from my fiance's family. Most of my bridal party will not be attending my bachelorette for that reason due to work and kids. My bachelorette party is going to be me, my maid of honor, one other bridesmaid, and just a couple friends that live in the same town as us. I told him their history is not my problem and I'm not ruining my good time and rearranging my whole wedding for them. I'm so confused as to what history you're talking about.
America's Most Wanted.
It's my wedding and I will have who I want where I want them. And I will have my bachelorette where I want to have it, especially considering I'm paying for most of it. Period. Stand on business.
Okay, period. Okay.
Period?
Period.
He shut up about it that night, but periodically keeps bringing it back up and trying to make me change it around to accommodate them. But I keep refusing, and my fiance refuses also, telling me to do what I want to do and not worry about anyone else. At this point, I'm ready to not even have her as a bridesmaid. She's only a bridesmaid out of obligation anyway, to be honest. Plus, my fiance has 8 groomsmen, and I only had 7 bridesmaids. I want my wedding to be aesthetically pleasing, so she's basically a filler anyway.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
But for the sake of my sanity, I'm willing to take the title away from her to remove any more obligations to include her in my bachelorette. To add, I'm not having it where it's planned to exclude her in any way, shape, or form. I've just never been to the town it's in, and I've heard great things. She grew up in the town over from it, so they're very close to each other. So, am I the a-hole for saying no, or should I just conform and change my party location? I think you know the answer to that, babes. Like, I understand that this is something that's causing a rift in your family, but like, it's clear that your brother-in-law is used to pushing people around. It's your wedding. It's your bachelorette at the end of the day. And like, I'm very like, I wish you would be a little more forthcoming. Oh, there's more context. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's more context as to why she's not allowed in this town. So some background on how these two people are. My 1-year-old and their 1-year-old share a birthday. Not because of divine intervention, but when they learned my fiance and I were trying for a baby, they also started trying. They took over my gender reveal to have their own, took over my baby shower to have their own, as well as turned my son's first birthday party into a birthday party for their own. Mind you, the only guests at either celebration was my family and my fiance's family only, not anyone from their family, not any of their friends. My due date was Christmas and hers was before, about a week. So they scheduled their induction date for my due date.
Oh, hell no!
They're obsessed with you or whatever. I'm just saying, this is weird. Once they saw I wasn't in labor, yet intentionally missed their appointment and waited until I went into labor before going to their OB and being induced on the same day, giving birth 5 hours after me. What in the flying is this? What the This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Balderdash. Who are these people? They're weird. It's not just about them trying to control or determine what happens on my wedding day. It's about them refusing to let anyone have attention anywhere and making sure it's about them every day, all day, and everything they do. Honestly, I don't know how you're around these people. Like, this is like they're literally stealing your life. So, small update. A bunch of people in the comments are suggesting that you just demote them and have them be guests. They're not going to like that, just FYI. So, OP is going to speak to them about the change. We'll add an update after we talk. Update. My fiance and I spoke with them about everything and decided it would be best that they didn't participate in the wedding. We told them we would gladly still have them as guests, but any title of groomsman or bridesmaid was being taken due to obvious issues. They both got livid with us. I told you. I told you so.
Gotta deal with it, honey.
And began cursing and yelling, telling us how they deserve to be in our wedding and they won't come if they don't have their titles.
Oh no. Oh, please, no. Please come. It won't be the same without you.
Probably a good thing. We told them it was up to them whether or not they come, but we're not changing our minds. After more yelling, we left and have not heard from them at all. Mother-in-law and father-in-law have called us to tell us they agree with our decision and to ignore anything coming from brother-in-law and his wife. Well, good. So, commonly asked questions. She's not allowed in this town because she has a history of cheating on him with men she went to school with. Okay. That definitely adds some color. When I said nobody from their family showed up to baby shower and gender reveal, I meant her family. Nobody from her side showed up. And the people that did show up were only prepared for a baby shower gender reveal for us. But when they arrived, she showed up in a dress with a mom-to-be sash, and they both flipped their lid when they realized nobody got anything from them. Well, yeah. Something tells me, like, there's a reason why they don't have anybody attend these things. It kind of sounds like lots of people wouldn't want to be around them. Just saying, I don't want to be around them. They no longer live with OP, haven't for a month. They lived with us for 6 months for free. We lived with them for 5 years, and we were charged $1,200 a month for 1 bedroom in their home. I had 5 to 6 bridesmaids when this started. My fiance had 8 groomsmen. So I asked a couple more girls since there would be balance at the ceremony and it wouldn't look uneven. I had my bridesmaid decided before he decided to order his groomsmen. So technically he's the one who plays brother-in-law with bridesmaid too. They are the only couple in the bridal party. So it's not like I could pair everyone off that way to prevent issues. Yes, I could move the other bridesmaid she doesn't like, but I know if it was her wedding, she would not do the same for me. After the history, I'd be like, you, I'm not doing anything for you. Okay, I wouldn't buckle to these people at all. Like, they have single-handedly hijacked most of your life events in the past few years. I wouldn't compromise one bit for these people. In fact, I would make them uncomfortable and force them to not attend my wedding. If they're not trying to steal the shine in this way and they're already trying to push you around, imagine what they do on the actual day.
We decided to renew our vows today because since everybody's here. By the way, we're pregnant again!
Like, on your wedding day. Like, I'm dead serious. These people have a history of this. I wouldn't want these people near me in any way, shape, or form. And I understand their family, but like, just because you're family, that does not give you the right to push people around. So, am I the a-hole for not changing my bachelorette party location so my sister-in-law can attend? No, I would keep that location because she can't attend. This is a good thing. No, you're not the a-hole. Advice needed. I need advice. Attention-seeking cousin ruined my birthday and is planning to ruin my birthday party. Seems like we have a little bit of a theme for today's video. Oh, love a theme party. My sister, who I'll just call Sis, and I just turned 30, both female. I wasn't there for this event as I was celebrating with my partner and friends, but since our birthday fell on the day of the Super Bowl, we are in the US, sadly.
My condolences.
My parents hosted some people at their house and had cake with my sister to wish her a happy birthday and all that jazz. My cousin, 27 female, who I will call Dana, is a hot mess express. The thing is, she used to be married and was the first one of the cousins, 9 in total, to get married. She's also the first to get divorced and is now with a guy who I'll call Gabe for a little less than a year. My immediate family theorizes that since Dana's brother Zane, fake name, is getting married in May, it's making Dana miss the spotlight. So, on the day of my and my sis's actual birthday, Dana made the announcement that she is 14 weeks pregnant, also sending our cousin group chat the same announcement, which was how I found out. My immediately family shared their worries about Dana wearing white to Zane's wedding. But now, show up pregnant is a definite way to steal the spotlight.
People have their own lives.
Okay. I mean, interesting choice of timing to announce it. It's so weird how it's like, we have to wait. We have to make sure it's not on the same day. Like, listen, there are certain times where it's like, it's kind of hard to plan around all the special days of everybody else, right? Do I think that she could have chosen to announce it maybe the day after? Yeah, maybe. Sis texted me saying she felt hurt that not only was our birthday more or less put on the back burner for the Super Bowl, but now it's being overshadowed by a pregnancy announcement. While I wasn't there, I was mostly annoyed that Dana would choose a day meant for a birthday celebration and make it all about herself. She evidently started to hold her belly even though she wasn't even showing and was getting princess pregnancy treatment, thus making the day more about her than Sis. Okay. I mean, there is the thought that like the whole family was together, so maybe she... I don't know. Is it that deep? It might be that deep. You know your family better than I do. I don't know.
I will make you the villain of this story.
But let's continue. Now on to the main subject. Sis messaged me saying Dana told her she knew the gender of the baby and she plans on announcing it at the next family party, which would be celebrating our birthday. Dana wants to essentially hijack our birthday again and make the day about her and her baby. Just tell her no. Like, with someone like this, it's like, just tell her no, you know? Personally, I don't think anything will come of it since there's like 6 birthdays among my extended family, whose birthdays we're also celebrating that day, but still. The nerve to not only try to shift the attention away from 6 people and make it about yourself, but to pull one of the birthday people aside and let them know of the plan ahead of the time. She didn't even ask. The party's going to be held at our parents' house. She just told Sis that she's going to do it. I really need advice on how to handle this. I've never been in a situation like this before. Our whole extended family has been drama-free thus far. I'm thinking about getting like a special 30th birthday tiara or something for me and Sis to wear during the party, but I don't know. Any help or advice is appreciated. Here's the thing though, you're also celebrating like 6 other people's birthday on the same day, you know? I'm fully of the opinion that like family gatherings are like a fair place to want to like announce things like engagements or pregnancies or whatever. But like, I think maybe it doesn't have to be on the day where it's celebrating somebody else. Like I was recently at a baby shower. I was sitting next to a woman who, you know, we were having a great time chatting away, like, but I noticed that she didn't order alcohol. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, I clocked it like right away. She got like non-alcoholic champagne or something like that. And we're just chatting and stuff. And I, was also talking about starting a family, et cetera, et cetera. Don't get excited. We're just like thinking about it. And she quietly, just because we were talking about it, said, like, I'm actually pregnant right now. There was this moment of like, oh my God, that's so exciting. But it was quiet. Like, it was quiet. It was not her baby shower. It was not her place to announce anything. No one else at the baby shower, apart from the 2 people that we were sitting by, knew about it. And she wanted to keep it that way. And we all wanted to keep it that way because at the end of the day, that this was not her place or event to announce her own pregnancy. And it's also like, you know, she was early and like it kind of made sense to her to just sort of like, I think people wait until like the second trimester. It's like quite normal to wait. But she did the guest of honor the courtesy of not making the day about herself. You know, like there was a moment where we said, oh my God, congratulations. But no, the day did not become about her, like in any way, shape, or form. If it's up to the guest of honor, like let's say you're a really gracious person and you don't mind sharing the spotlight and, you know, you heard about like someone else's pregnancy and it was your baby shower or something and you took a moment out of your day to be like, and by the way, like I hear we also have like a few other examples of good news or what, I don't even know. The point is like if the guest of honor chooses to say, I also want to share this day, like let's take a moment to just be like, you know, a lot of other people are pregnant right now and like this is, you know, this day isn't just about me, it's about you. You know what I mean? If the guest of honor chooses to share it, then it's fair. But I think it's social decorum. Have some social decorum with these things. It's impossible to plan around everybody's anniversaries, birthdays, you know, baby showers, all these things. But like if the family gathering coincides with the celebration of somebody else, it's not an appropriate time to take that away from them. So, advice on how to handle it. I mean, first of all, like I would send your cousin a text.
Communicate.
Maybe not you, maybe the person that she told. Your sister, I'm guessing. Sister needs to reach out to Dana and be like, hey, like, honestly, we are so excited for your pregnancy and like, obviously so anxious to hear the gender. But I feel like I would be more comfortable if we waited for a day to announce the gender. Like maybe we can all throw like a gender reveal for you, or like maybe we can all get together like for not for drinks, but like, you know what I mean? Like let's go for lunch or something like that and like have a day where we go and celebrate you. Like I think I would be more comfortable if this day was about me and my sister. We haven't, you know, had a chance to celebrate together, and I would hope that you're okay with that. And if she still, you know, kind of does it anyway, then be mad. Okay, so this was another thing that I was wondering. OP added, like, when your cousin announced her pregnancy, did she wish you guys a happy birthday? I'm curious about that. And OP had answered this. Because my memory's sporadic, I want to add, Sis is the type of person to be the first to wish someone a happy birthday in our cousin group chat. On our birthday date, nobody had said anything, which kind of stung. It wasn't until after Dana had made her pregnancy announcement that others started to congratulate her and also wish us a happy birthday. Kind of update. I've been loving all these petty ideas. I've read all the comments and I've been quite tickled by the replies. Ooh, maybe I should head down there. Head down into the comment section. There's only two things to do. One, make your birthday party a pub crawl and apologize to her for not being able to attend on the account of the baby. 2, go all out, theme your birthday something like horror movies or zombies versus wizards. Heavily encourage heavy makeup, people going all out. Tell them there'll be a prize for best dressed. If your cousin tries to do anything to hijack, any photo she takes will be of her surrounded by gory things trying to eat her and her stomach. That is very funny. That is so creative.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Oh my goodness, that is very, very funny. I really enjoy that. I mean, okay, that is very funny. That is a funny way to go about it. I was like, okay, let's just like communicate our feelings, but like, well, me, right? You could also do it like that. Sometimes it doesn't really help to communicate our feelings. Maybe it makes sense to do the petty thing.
Petty girl.
Get the tiaras, but set them aside. Then at the beginning of the party, announce in a wine glass, tapping dramatic way. Ding, 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 ding. Dana told Sis she wants to do the gender reveal today at our birthday party. So over to you, Dana. Ooh. Hand her a mic even. Then after she does it, snatch that mic back and announce, now back to why we're here. Present each other with birthday tiaras, party back on, yay. And I would even do a final flourish with party poppers over each other's heads while the cake gets wheeled in by mom, all lit with candles. The whole shebang. To be extra petty, cut an extra big slice for Dana, exclaiming, here's an extra big one for you, seeing how you're eating for 2. Ooh, fuck you guys. Jesus. Some people are saying announce it before her, find out what the gender is, announce it before her, ruin it for her. I don't know. I kind of like the idea. I kind of like the either like the pub crawl, but like she could still go, you know, like you can be pregnant and still go to a pub crawl, just not drink. I like the like theme party thing. That's very funny.
Why not both?
I feel like having a theme party is a really good way to, you know, not only have it be probably something that she won't want pictures of as her gender reveal, but like people are going to be so focused on like the theme and that they'll probably not really give her that much attention over it. I don't know. I'm still a fan of communicating it.
Like an adult.
And if she still refuses, then do the like either of those options, I think. I've gotten the chance to talk to Sis and our mother about it. Sis is wanting to let it go, be grumbly, that Dana decided to overshadow her birthday again by making another pregnancy announcement as well as announcing the gender of the baby. Sis says that while she's hurt, she'd rather take it on the chin and let Dana steal the spotlight in this instance rather than at the weddings, but she'll be visibly pregnant, so she'll probably be stealing the spotlight anyway. She won't. Ugh. Let's also come to terms with the fact that like people have their own lives. Sometimes they're going to be pregnant for your wedding. I had several pregnant women at my wedding. It ain't no thing, okay? That day is going to be about you, make no mistake. Our mom said that our grandparents are excited about the announcement and mom was kind of guilted into going along with it. Be the bigger person, blah, blah, blah. I also predict the announcement will be made at the start of the shindig and then we'll divide into grown-ups and kids. Cousins like to hang out together rather than strictly with the parents, with the grown-ups being the ones to mostly fawn over Dana. Ugh, this is super annoying and like, I don't know. I'm still of the opinion that like maybe there's a petty way if she does announce it to just be like, okay, well, let's do presents, you know? Can we get the cake going? Like just to like divert the attention back to you guys. I don't know. It kind of just sounds like she's just that type of person. And believe me, there's lots of those types of people. We've literally done an entire video on it, many videos on it. I still think that talking to her would be good, but maybe a few petty comments wouldn't be the worst idea ever. Am I the a-hole for accidentally telling my parents about my sister's pregnancy because I was tired of keeping the secret? Go on. I, 24 female, have a younger sister, 21 female. We're not really close, but we're not enemies either. We always had a competitive sibling dynamic. About 2 months ago, she told me she was pregnant. It wasn't planned, and she was freaking out about how our parents would react. They're pretty traditional and can be judgmental. She made me promise not to tell anyone. Like, full, you cannot say a word until I'm ready, serious. I agreed, but I was hesitant about it. She still lives at home, and I visit my parents pretty often. My mom kept making comments to me about how my sister has been moody and gaining weight and asked if I knew what was going on. Every time I had to pretend, I didn't. I'm starting to get tired of keeping this up quickly. I also felt weirdly left out of everything. She wouldn't update me much, but expected me to cover for her constantly. I was lying to keep her cover, but I had no idea what was going on and I felt used. Yeah, she definitely should not have told you. And like, I feel like your mom knows what's going on. Like, I'm sorry, but like...
A mother knows.
Moody, gaining weight, like she knows what's going on. Like you're not drinking. Like I'm going to be like, when I choose to have a child,
Boom. A child.
it's going to be so obvious because like I am not the type of person to say no to a margarita. I'm literally just not. Like I might take, you know, a month off of drinking here and there for my mental health, for, you know, like because I have like fitness goals or something, but like it is very unlike me to say no to a drink. And for those of you who are a little worried about me, just so you know, like I don't drink like at home. Like I don't like drink wine. Like we actually have so much liquor that people have given us over the last year because we got engaged and married. And like we have so much liquor because we literally do not drink at home. So like just FYI, at social functions, I am known to say yes. With that being said, me saying no, they're gonna know. Last weekend, my mom directly asked me if my sister was pregnant. I hesitated and finally gave in. I think you should talk to her. I told you she knew. Which obviously confirmed it. My mom confronted her immediately. It turned into a huge blow-up fight. My sister is furious and said I betrayed her and stole the chance for her to tell them on her own terms. Hold on though, because like, no. Like you did kind of confirm it, but like only because you were forced to lie about it again and again. And I don't think you would have confirmed it if your mom didn't already guess. I told her I didn't outright say she was pregnant. I just didn't deny it. And honestly, I was tired of carrying the secret around my parents. She says I made it about me because I was uncomfortable for a few weeks while she's been dealing with something life-changing. Now she won't answer any of my texts. Part of me feels guilty because I did promise, but another part of me feels like I shouldn't have been put in that position in the first place. I think your mom was gonna know. Like, I think it's obvious. There's so many hormonal changes. Like, you look different when you're pregnant. Like, you just do. I do agree with your sister that like this was something that she told you in confidence and stuff, but like I get where she's coming from as well. But I don't think it's fair to like ask people to lie for you for like extended periods of time. It's also not the type of thing that you can hide for very long, honestly. You cannot hide the bump. You just can't. I just, I swear, the minute I gain like 10 pounds, everyone's like, are you pregnant? I see a pouch. I'm like, no, babe, I just have fat. It's just, yeah, it's just a hard thing to hide. That being said, I do kind of understand where your sister's coming from. I think it was kind of getting to the point where she should have told her herself. Then again, it's not really up to you. Could you have lied to your mom? Yes. But I think that you could have also like maybe just said, I don't know, like just play dumb, right? And then maybe gone to your sister and been like, by the way, like mom, she seems to know, like I kept your secret but like I'm feeling uncomfortable with like how long I'm being forced to keep this secret. Mom's asking me questions. I'm being forced to lie for you. You should tell our mom. I think I would have preferred that. I'm just saying. Still love you though. So people in the comments are saying, I was ready to vote the other way, but then you got to how you told your mom and she knew. Clearly, it was becoming increasingly obvious. It had been 2 months. The changes were apparently noticeable. If you had told your mom no, she probably would have known you were lying, and that wouldn't do anyone any good. So I have to say, not the a-hole. I understand why your sister is mad, but it's kind of on her. 2 months is too long to keep it going under those circumstances. But that doesn't make her an a-hole. It just makes her someone who failed to figure out an effective plan in a reasonable amount of time before it would be obvious. Maybe the parents are a-holes for being judgmental, but I can't confidently say that in this situation with the information that I have. Okay, I agree there. I actually don't feel like the sister's the a-hole either. I think that she has a right to tell her parents on her own time. I don't think that you were an a-hole. I just kind of wish that you handled it a bit better. Agreed, 2 weeks, sure, you could have kept the secret. 2 months, sis will be showing pretty soon, so the jig will be up. She roped OP in and then made it their problem. OP responded, this is how I feel. I just don't understand what her game plan was to do. I kept it for as long as myself I could. I'm human. I'm not a liar. Okay, I get that. I do get that. Promising to keep a secret isn't the same as promising to lie to cover it up. Not the a-hole. There's a lot of emotions and stress about this pregnancy, and I'm sure it's just being directed at OP. But OP, you did nothing wrong. You did not tell your mom she was pregnant. Your mom already thought she was because your sister's behavior suggested it. You didn't give it away. She did. Yeah. No, I would agree with that. She's definitely directing her anger toward you. I don't think you're the a-hole. I don't know if she's the a-hole either, honestly. It was just an unfortunate situation. Could you have sort of like said to your mom, like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. And then like gone to your sister and been like, by the way, like, I think mom knows. Like, I didn't tell her, but like she came to me and said this, like, you should probably tell her soon. And like, if you want me to help you find a way to tell her, let's do that. My personal opinion. Not the a-hole, but could have handled it a little differently, if I may say so. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe!